Good morning. Hello. Welcome all. It's good to see y'all. Sorry for the late start. I decided last minute I was going to change things up a little, my setup. You won't notice it really, I'm sure, but give me 1 second. Boop. Hey, what's up? ESL here. Oh, I don't have my headphones on. Hold on 1 second. Just the best way to hear. I think you guys can hear me. Too many cords and buttons. Okay. I should be able to hear you now. Awesome. VSL here. Just wanting to know why you're not vegan. Veganism is the ethical stance against the exploitation of other sentient beings. So I don't want to demand someone's enslavement for my pleasure when I can get that from something else. And 18 and older only. I have a resource, antianimaluse.org. It has nutrition information. It's got documentaries on there. It has other resources. It's just a great compilation of resources that my partner and I have pulled together. But there's also, you could check out 10 Weeks of Vegan, which is also listed on there. Nutritionfacts.org, which is listed on there. Those are all nutrition things. The 3-minute film or 3-minute challenge, excuse me, is on there, and so is Dominion. 3-minute challenge is just clips of Dominion. So if you're not willing to watch the full documentary, which you should if you haven't, and you're not vegan. All right, let's take a look at who's here. Salad Faux Girl. You got a membership. Oh my gosh. The heat is on now. And Johnny Vegan Seed, which I think I saw that you bought for Johnny. Thank you so much, both of you. Salad Faux Girl. W's in the chat for Salad Faux Girl. And for Johnny Vegan Seed. Really appreciate you guys. I'm gonna try to add things over time so that members, do have incentive to be a member. But it was requested that I do that, so I did so. Okay. Let's see. Oh, thank you for reminding me. I need my guest list up. I see you. Give me 1 second here. We also got Martin here, Youngblood, Vegan Engineer. Roland, I don't know if I know you. Little Vegan Peg, what's up? Martin said hello to you. Yes. Little Vegan Peg. Ian, of course. Yes, I decided to set up my other phone last minute, so that's why I was late. Hella late. Oh my god, 17 minutes. That's crazy. Anybody else I didn't say hello to? It's good to see you guys. Thank you for being here. Aragon? What's up? I don't know you. Ethical Herbivore. Hi. Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, wow. Thank you. Oh my god, spooky. Thank you so much. Well, I got to clear my throat. Clearly, I need water. Wow. Wow. Okay. W's in the chat for spooky. Big W's for spooky. Thank you. Oh my god. You guys are so supportive. Thank you. So sweet. So for those that are over here on my TikTok, on YouTube, you can buy memberships, and someone has very graciously purchased, actually 2 people have purchased memberships for themselves and for others. And I just really wanted to give the shout outs to that. How's everyone on my TikTok doing? Anybody? I do see a lot. Let's see. Because I support local produced food and a living vibrant countryside. Man, that's hard to read that text over white. So yeah, I'm not telling you to not support your local community. I'm saying you can do so without demanding that somebody be exploited for you. You can demand local produce, like things that aren't sentient, plants, fungi, seaweed, those things. Let's see. I can't read German. No one is vegan. That's not true. I'm vegan. What do you eat as a vegan? I eat plants, fungi, and seaweed. Like Usually in the mornings, I'll eat like an oatmeal with flaxseed and hemp seeds in it. You don't have to do that, but that's what I do. I'll add some walnuts and a fruit. Usually it's apple, sometimes blueberries, depends on the mood or what I've got. Oatmeal is healthy. Yes, it's very healthy. In fact, they find the people that live the longest eat the most like beans and oats, or grains, I should say, the whole grains. Vegetarian is not good because you're still using someone, dairy and eggs. We'll get to that. Let's see, we have some guests. So with that, I'm going to start bringing people up. Let's see, I'll pull this up too because I don't want this up. Okay. All right. So again, veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So I'm just talking about living whatever life you want to live, just doing it without using someone who can't consent to their treatment. All right. And with that, go ahead and bring you up. Tell me how to pronounce your name. I'm not sure how to, chicken. Okay. So we can't pronounce it because they're a child. And Igoon.
Hello?
Hi. Are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 19.
Okay. So why aren't you vegan yet?
I'm not vegan, but can I get your opinion on something? Like, I just want to see if...
I want to know why you're not vegan.
Oh, why I'm not vegan? I'm not vegan because, to be honest, it's just pretty difficult just eating only plants and stuff.
It's not that difficult.
Getting...
What makes you say it's difficult?
It's way... Yes, it's difficult.
Well, tell me why you think it's difficult.
Oh, because, meat and, like, products out of animals are just everywhere. And it's pretty difficult to... What?
So are plant products. Beans, rice,
yeah, they
local in-season fruits and veg, frozen fruits and veg, canned fruits and veg. Those are pretty common.
Yeah, they are, but, like, considering that I'm trying to gain weight,
you can gain weight using
a lot
plants.
Of calories from that stuff.
You can gain weight using plants. Look at Nehemiah Delgado. Okay. Look at Patrick Baboumian. These are.
Do you think pine cones are sentient?
No.
Oh.
Do you think they're sentient?
I think they could be.
They're not.
Like, in theory.
Why aren't you vegan again?
Because personally, I don't want to. It's just a personal choice.
Okay, what do you think the animals want?
I don't think the animals... I think the animals want to live.
Exactly. So what justifies you not respecting that?
I think, like, maybe it is a little bit cruel, but that's the reason why we can go to Costco and buy eggs for 4 quid.
That if something is cruel that you're doing and you don't need to do it, that
yes,
you should stop?
Yeah, it is somewhat cruel.
Don't you think you should stop then?
I wouldn't say I need to stop it.
Why not?
I would say that the companies need to stop it.
You're literally admitting that it's cruel to do this to them. Why shouldn't you stop? What justifies you not stopping?
Because I wanna eat meat.
Well, okay, a rapist wants to have schmecks, but that doesn't give them the moral right to force it on others.
But you can have sex like legitimately.
Yeah, you
can. No.
Else.
I'm going off what you said.
You can eat something else. You can eat something else, just like the rapist can go boink something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, give me some good food that is vegan.
That I don't know what you like as taste pleasure. I personally have my own preferences. In the morning, I eat oatmeal. I'll mix like
stuff that tastes similar to meat.
I mean,
like
you
stuff
can go on that journey
like
yourself.
Savory stuff.
I'm telling you, I'm not here to like hold your hand. I'm telling you, you can go into the store, grab beans, rice, season them so they taste good, and eat that.
Okay, great. I should do that then.
Yeah, don't you think that that's better for the animals?
It is better for the animals, but I personally, if the chickens farmed us and they ate us, I wouldn't blame them.
Yes, you would. If you were farmed,
guys, type 1 if you would blame the chickens if they farmed.
If you really think that you would be okay with being enslaved, then you're against human rights, and I think we're done talking. When people say, I don't care if you enslave me, I don't care if someone enslaves me, you're a joker. You're not being honest.
Yo, hello?
Oh, you have to be over 18. All right? If you're under 18, I'll drop you like a rock. Ed, are you over 18?
Hello? Yes, I'm 27 years old.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I'm not a vegan because consuming meat It's part of my culture.
Okay, it's part of my culture too, but what justifies it?
What justifies it? Bringing the family together,
Okay.
celebrating
So,
birthdays.
do you think that kicking a dog for entertainment and exercise is moral?
But that dog we're kicking, we're not gonna eat it, are we?
No, we're just gonna. This is my tradition. Do you think that's moral?
Right. No, it's not moral
But it's my
at all.
culture. We all get together. Grandma doesn't get out of the chair unless we're kicking the dog. So it gets her to get up and
Yeah,
do
then you got
exercise. Do you think then it's moral
right.
that
You
my
got an immoral
family?
culture.
Yeah. So do you think that's moral for us to yearly get together, grab a living sentient dog and just kick him around the yard for fun?
Nah, that's messed up.
But
I
it's
have a
my
dog. I love
culture.
dogs.
But it's my culture.
Right.
Does that make it moral?
Yeah, I would try to put a stop to it. I'd try to put a stop to it.
Good. I agree. Why do you think that it's wrong?
Yeah, because it's defenseless, right? They can't talk for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So then what is the difference between those actions and using animals for food, clothing, and entertainment?
Well, it's two different things. We're gonna nourish ourselves with the animals, we're sacrificing
What
to
do you
eat.
need from animals that you can't get from other sources?
The macros. That's
What
basically why
macros?
people
Name
do
one.
it, right? Like in
Name
poor
one.
countries. Like the protein, right?
You get protein
It's
from
more
plants.
filling.
Where do the
It's more
animals
filling.
get where do the animals get their protein, Ed?
They get their protein, but we're not.
Where do they get their protein
We're
from?
not animals,
We
though.
are animals.
We're Homo
We're
sapiens.
apes.
We're Homo
We're
sapiens.
apes.
We're Homo sapiens.
Ed,
We are
you're
not
denying
animals.
science. I will move on. We are apes. We are animals.
Okay, I agree. I used to be a vegan actually for like 3
What's
years.
veganism?
Well, no, I'm lying. I wasn't a vegan. I was a plant-based
Well,
dude.
now that we know that you're lying, I don't have time to be yanked around, guys, okay? So I have no problem dropping you. How do I pronounce your name? Hello?
Oh?
How do I pronounce your name? Okay. Gamer boy, are you over 18?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Not ready.
What?
I'm just not ready.
Oh, you're
yet.
not ready? Do you know what veganism is?
I kind of have an understanding for it.
Okay, so veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So I don't want to demand someone's enslavement for anything I can get from other sources or I can go without. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Do you agree with that? Does that align with your own principles?
Yes.
Are you vegan?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Getting ready.
Okay. So what is it you think that's got you kind of held back?
I just gotta get some things out of my house first before I do any of that. Like,
Why?
a few things. Cause what am I meant to do with it? Like the stuff.
Oh, you mean the stuff you
have.
already have? So the damage really comes from, sadly, the purchasing systems. So you've already done the damage with those products. So it's either use them or throw them out, whatever you want to do, whatever you feel comfortable with. I personally, when I realized what I was doing, I couldn't stomach consuming them because I could just see what I just saw in them. But I'm not here to tell you to throw those things out. I'm just telling you don't purchase anymore. Don't support the system anymore.
Okay. So just one thing. So what exactly do I do with like? I have a dog. Is there like
Like a
things to
companion?
feed it? Yes. a
Oh, I mean, you
companion.
just take care of them. Do you mean like how do you
But
feed them?
yes,
Oh,
like
yeah. There's vegan dog foods. I have Evolution for my cat, but they also have dog food, and Evolution's great. They have dry kibble and different flavors of wet food. There's V-Dog. There's, I can't remember them all right now. If you just look up vegan dog foods, there's lots of them. And specifically, Evolution is certified by it's ACCFO or something like that. The people that make sure that dog food has everything they need. And if it doesn't, they take it off the shelf. So that's been approved by them. So look into those. Dogs are usually pretty adaptive to a plant-based diet. And they've shown that they can be just as healthy as dogs that are on an omnivorous diet.
No, it's great to know. That's
Yeah.
all I really wanted to know. So I'm like kind of in the middle of just getting ready to become a vegan, really.
So you mean you're like
Uh,
gathering your stuff that you found in your house? Is that what you mean? Okay.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's just
Like,
being vegan. I don't know about getting ready to be vegan. That's just being vegan.
all right. Well, you have a good
All
one.
right. Well, Gamer Boy, I appreciate you coming up. It's always great to meet another vegan, especially when it's a new vegan. If you do have any other questions, you're welcome to like message me, or any vegans that you see on TikTok would love to answer questions.
All right. Sounds good. Have a
Hell
good
yeah,
one.
you have a great day. Thank you for coming up. I really appreciate that. Let's see if I can. I'm gonna try to give you a follow. Dubs in the chat for Gamer Boy. Where did it go? Where'd you go? Usually I can see on my list, but my list isn't always complete. I don't know how that really works, to be honest. Yeah, but anyway, that was great. There are some hurdles. Sometimes like I'm not here to tell you to throw everything out. I personally did, but it's more about how you feel about it. You know, these are individuals that were chopped up. Maybe, you know, you have that urge to consume it that's still there, so you can use what you have. But I found it just so disgusting, and you know, you're eating a slave. You're eating someone. So, Mason.
Oh my god, I'm in.
Oh, are
Hello?
you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 18.
Okay, why aren't you vegan yet?
Because chicken tastes better than grass.
Do you eat bread?
Sometimes, but like meat just tastes better.
Well,
Never gonna be vegan, low key.
okay. What if humans tasted 100 times better than other animals?
What did you say?
What
What if humans tasted other animals?
What if humans tasted 100 times better than other animals? Would that justify
I
farming?
guess we'll never know. Maybe
We do
Jeffrey
know.
Dahmer knew the method.
We do
and
know.
didn't.
We actually have written accounts.
Really, you've been trying humans, gang?
I'd do it.
No.
All right. So we do have people sharing their accounts of consuming other humans. They call us long pig. And our flesh has been compared to veal, pig, and no, just mostly pig and veal. Mostly pig, which is why we're called long pig. So now that we know that we can make human bacon, we taste like bacon, does that now morally justify farming humans? I hope not, because I don't want to be farmed. Do you want to be farmed? Even if you do want to be farmed, does that mean we shouldn't, we should ignore human rights and just start farming humans so we get taste pleasure? Gazinga, are you over 18?
I'm 40 years of age.
Beautiful. I love talking to adults. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I choose not to be vegan.
Do you know what veganism is?
Yeah, you just eat plant-based diets and that. No milk, no cheese.
That is a side effect of living vegan, but veganism is actually an ethical stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So I don't want to demand someone's slavery, and if I can avoid doing so, I do.
Right, okay, I'll just ask this one simple thing. Why can't we make lions in the wild vegan?
Do you think that because lions do bad things, that you should also be allowed to do bad things?
It's part of the food chain, isn't
So
it?
because bad things happen out in nature, you should be allowed to do bad things?
How's it bad when it's
You're
part of
violating
nature?
someone. You're taking their life.
It's a cycle of life.
Do you think that lions are moral agents like you and I? Do you know what a moral agent is?
Okay, do you eat wheat?
Do you know
bread?
what a moral agent is?
I'll ask you a question. Do you eat bread?
I will move on if you don't answer my questions. Yes, I eat bread. Yes, crop deaths happen. Guess who eats more plants than I do? The animals that you use. So if you care about those animals that pass away in the crop fields, you'd live vegan. We actually have science on this. The study is called Reducing Food's Environmental Impact Through Producers and Consumers. Okay, go look that up. They went over hundreds of farms in thousands of farms, not hundreds, thousands of farms in hundreds of countries. Okay, they found that we're dedicating 83% of our ag land to animals and to raising them and their food. So if we stop farming them, we could reduce our agricultural land use by 75% and at the same time feed 10 billion humans. There's only 8 billion of us right now. And if it's even more obvious when you talk about the numbers of how many animals we're breeding into existence. We breed 92.2 billion land animals alone. And if you include aquatic life, it's in the trillions. We have to feed many of these. The aquatic life, we actually farm 50% of the fish that you consume. We have to feed them. We feed them grains. We grow that on our land. That's your fault. We could stop doing that if you move your demand, right? So if you're really worried about crop deaths, go vegan. Pantheos, are you over 18?
Yes, I'm 28.
Okay, right on. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I'm not a vegan for the same reason I don't pretend I'm a cow. Different biology and different needs.
So you don't know what veganism is. What's veganism?
Look, we are
What's veganism?
It's an ethical standpoint, like you said. It's more like philosophical.
Do you think cows do that?
No.
Okay, so why do you think
no.
that I'm...
I mean, look, we're apes.
We are apes, but just because I can do something, does that mean I should when there's a victim?
Look, that's a good point. Right?
Yeah, my hand,
that's a really good point.
My hand can make a fist. Should I be allowed to
Yeah.
just go punch everyone because it gives me joy? Or go punch all the non-vegans, right? Can I go punch all the non-vegans?
Well, I mean, like, if it's for self-defense, you can do
Sure,
that, right?
I agree.
But nature runs on victims, doesn't it?
No,
yeah,
but
every ecosystem
okay, in
is
nature,
built on life
rape
consuming.
happens. Infanticide happens. Do you think that we should really introduce that back into society?
Oh, no, definitely
Exactly.
no.
We
no,
left
no, no,
nature
no,
because
no.
nature's
I mean,
unfair.
well, yeah, because look, rape is a moral violation within the same species, right? It's about concept.
So you're telling
harm
me it's
between
not
humans, but
immoral?
eating animals
It's not immoral for a human to grape another animal?
That is obviously immoral.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter.
You shouldn't touch
it goes
the animal,
across
obviously.
species line, right? If it's wrong to grape them, it's wrong to steal their life for sensory pleasure.
I understand you, but the thing is, just because something happens in nature doesn't make it moral, but it also doesn't mean all natural behaviors are unequal, right? Just think
No,
about it
I'm
for a minute.
saying
I mean,
that you're making a
predation
fallacy. You're saying that because something's natural, it's moral, and you should be able to do it. And I'm saying that doesn't make sense. There's things in nature that are not moral. So what makes taking their life moral if it's not because it's natural?
I personally believe that it's necessary.
What do you
Like,
need from them?
morality isn't like no
What
harm
do you
ever.
need from them?
You know, that it's impossible.
What do you need from them?
The protein.
You can get protein from
Oh,
plants.
like,
Where do the animals that you
we're
use get their
omnivores, right?
protein?
They eat other animals.
Cows eat other animals?
That's herbivore.
Yeah, where does a cow get
No,
their
no, they eat
protein?
grass.
Where does
They
a
don't
cow
eat
get their
animal.
protein?
Grass. Yeah, they eat
You
grass,
can eat
right?
plants
Yeah.
too and get your protein. Look how giant a cow is. You can do it.
Okay, but what do you recommend? Like what diet do you recommend?
A plant-based diet. I'm not a nutritionist, so I can't give you advice on, I mean, I can tell you what I do. I can give you, ideas of what I think, but I'm not a professional. I do know there's evidence. If you go to my website, the antianimaluse.org, or you can just look up nutritionfacts.org. They go over videos, they make videos over studies. They break down studies and they show you their methodologies and their conclusions. And they show you multiple studies that brought them to their conclusions on why a whole food plant-based diet is the healthiest. And they have what's called the Vegan Daily Dozen. You could just Google Vegan Daily Dozen. It's just a checklist of whole foods to make sure you get everything you need in a day.
All right, I'll check that out. Thank you very much for the conversation. You can continue, all right?
Well,
Take
can I
care.
ask you one last hard question before you go? I really do appreciate you coming up here.
Yeah, sure.
How many more animals do you want to have exploited for you specifically? How many more do you want?
Oh, well, I'm not about wanting more animals exploited. You
Yeah.
know, it's about recognizing reality.
Well, so
You know,
I'm not
humans
asking you
eat,
what
and
is.
eating always
I'm
involves
not asking you
trade-offs.
what is. You're good. You're getting stuck in the is-ought fallacy. I'm asking you, what kind of world do you want to see? Do you want to see a world where others are exploited for your convenience, or do you want to live in a world that's fair for everyone?
I want a world that's honest about how life actually works.
Do you want to live in
how
a world that's fair for
reduce
everyone?
unnecessary
Or
suffering.
do you think that it's fair to take away
Yes.
liberties from others for your convenience? You think
No, the first one,
exactly.
definitely. We should all
Exactly.
be fair.
And that's
Yeah.
your own principles. And I'm telling you that you actually share the vegan principle. Your actions are just not in alignment with that. You're stuck in that is-ought fallacy. Just because something is doesn't mean we can't change it. Right? Slavery was around for so long, and
Yeah.
clearly it's still around, but it's not as it was, right? It's not as in front and out in the open. We try to stop it if we find it. And that's huge, right? That's because people spoke
Yeah.
up against it.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm saying
Yeah,
that
exactly. Well, that's evolution, isn't it?
exactly.
I mean, yeah, times change.
Yeah, you learn better, you do better, right? You learn that
Exactly. That's a good way to put
yeah,
it.
you learn that those individuals are just as sentient as you, meaning that they're having their own subjective experience of life, their own experience of emotions, and they care about that next experience happening.
Do you think animals are sentient?
They are sentient. We actually have scientific backing on that. We have the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness and the New York Declaration of Consciousness, and they go over thousands of behavioral studies and they look at their anatomy. So we know that they're sentient. They're having those experiences.
Okay.
We don't even.
Yeah, but they don't have like metacognition.
So
right? Like
we
me and
actually
you,
have no
right? They
way
can't
of
think without
showing
thinking.
that even a human is sentient. Like the only way we can know is by watching behaviors. So by watching behaviors of humans and other animals, we've learned that other animals are sentient. If they have a brain and a central nervous system, it's very likely that they're sentient.
So do you think that sentience means like no life can ever be taken? And,
No.
and if so, like how do you justify
vegan's not
sentient
against that.
animals killed in plant agriculture?
No, vegan's not against unaliving. We're against exploitation. So that means using someone unfairly for your benefit. Vegans understand that there's self-defense, and they understand that there are people that have obstacles that they might have to cross their principles in order to survive. So survival situations and self-defense. Those are understandable. It's still immoral because the victim loses everything, but it's understandable, right? Self-defense, it's not like that's a free-for-all. You should just start unaliving people, right? You should try to defend yourself. Yeah. Personally, I think you should try to defend yourself without taking the life of someone, but it's understandable. When it comes to crops, we have to eat something, right? And if the crops get decimated by other animals, I'm going to starve. So protecting your crops is self-defense. We can improve crop farming, though. We can remove crop deaths by building better walls or growing indoors or vertical farming. But we can't remove the exploitation of using animals. It will always be there. You have to rob someone of everything to steal their body, their baby, and secretions.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Look, you've got a beautiful moral framework. You have, obviously wanting to.
I think you have the same moral framework.
Sentient life is something
you agree with it.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm going to check out your website. I appreciate it for your wise words. You can continue, talk with other people as well, and thank you for your time.
Can I challenge you on one last thing since you hung around, and then I'll let you go? Okay.
Yeah,
on
sure.
that website, it clicks on. There's a button that says "See what I fund." There's a 3-minute film. Would you be willing to watch that? It just shows you standard practice. It's not a gore film.
Yeah, sure. I'll check it out. Yeah.
That's the least that anybody can do. Is just at least be an informed consumer. So that way you know that when you pick up those packages, you know what you demanded someone to go through. It's important to know that.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll check that
appreciate
out.
you
I'm
being
open-minded.
here.
I will definitely check that out.
Obviously you are. Really you are.
Thank you too. Have a lovely
You
day.
as well. Thank you for coming up. And I hope I see you again. If you have any
Appreciate it.
questions, come ask us.
Take care.
All right. You have a great day.
All right.
Oh, I cut you off. I'm so sorry. I thought you were done. Dubs in the chat. That was great. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming up. Oh, hey, David. I see you. Lori on the panel.
Hey, girl, how's it
It's
going?
going actually pretty well. How are you?
All right.
God.
Have you had some good conversations,
Yeah,
or did you
actually.
just sound?
Yeah, I was kind of caught off
You
guard.
sounded pretty open-minded.
Yeah. There were some that were children, but that's just par for the course.
Sure. What are they doing home?
I know, right? It's Monday. Get to
In
school.
Right.
I really did think that
Exactly.
was going to
Well,
be
good.
the case, that they wouldn't be here, but
Yeah. I'm sick. I have to stay
I have to
home
stay.
from school.
I have to stay home and pick on the vegans.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my god, too funny.
Well, yeah. Well, bring somebody else
Let's
up.
do
Let's
it.
go, man.
David is stuffing his face. Well, I'm jealous. All I've got is bean water. I mean, I like coffee, but still. All right. Also, do a quick check on my other chat. How's everyone doing? Let's see. Hey. Sorry, I had to click some stuff around. Oh, are you leaving Vegan Anthem, or is someone leaving? I saw someone say bye. Who's leaving? Allie? Is it way up here? Coming to my TED Talk. You did a TED Talk? Wow, that's wild. That's awesome. I need to go look that up. Allie, I don't know if I've actually met you before. Can't, bro. I think this is pre-recorded. It's not pre-recorded. Hey, what's up, another damn vegan? I see you, Neil. Satanic Steven. Woo! Wandering Mason. Good to see you. Jake. Hi. Oh my God, there's so many awesome vegans in here. Vegan Anthem. Good to see you. Oh God, Vegan Heretic in here. Oh, I'm so honored, you guys. Oh my gosh. Thank you all for being here. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's see anybody over here. Because people have the option to do what they want to do. Well, does that mean that people should have the option to grape each other, grape whoever they want, unjustly unalive anyone they want, right? Just because they want to do what they want to do? There are limitations to what we can do, right? Yeah. You think being kind to animals is nonsense? Heat storage? Hey, guys. Oh, Kim Cat, you're in here too. Oh, good to see you. Oh, Jesus is King. Why don't you come up and request? Although we have a bit of a line. I got some people that are very patient right now. Let's bring up Dat Boy Den. When you're loaded in, let me know your age. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I hate it when it takes forever to load. Okay. Dat Boy, maybe I'm going to drop you down. Maybe request back up. I'll bring you back up if I see your name. Pretty Lady Boy.
Yeah,
Hey,
hello.
are you over 18?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Are you over 18?
Yes, I'm 29.
Okay, cool. Right on. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I'm not a vegan because I'm programmed, I guess you could say, to eat meat every day.
Programmed? You mean like it's just
Yeah,
normal?
it's just second. You just do it, right? Second nature.
Yeah, you were
Since
taught.
we were babies.
I get it.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. So how do you know what veganism means?
I think I have an idea of what it means. Right? Not exploiting animals.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I don't want to demand someone be enslaved for me. Does that relate with your own principles?
Oh yeah, of course. But my question would be, right, if let's say we pasture raised our animals, like the cows, right, and the chickens, we had them roaming around our gardens and whatnot. Would that be ethical? Would you consider that ethical?
No, I wouldn't want to trade places with those individuals, even on a nice farm. Do you want to be enslaved?
Nah, definitely
not. What
not.
about on a nice farm? Like the one you just described?
Yeah, neither. Yeah. It's still slavery, right, at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah. I get that.
But
go ahead.
What about hunting though? Like, what would you say to the indigenous tribes down in South America? Would you preach veganism to them too?
If I was around them, absolutely. Yeah. Everybody's welcome to the
Isn't
table.
that a form of colonialism? Isn't that a form of
No, I'm
colonialism?
not making anybody do anything. I think that most people actually share this principle. Honestly, I do feel like people that live closer to nature would even agree with me harder that you only take what you need. You don't take anything more.
Right,
So if you don't
exactly.
need to do it, then shouldn't you avoid doing it?
If I just dedicated myself to only eating strictly grass, I will
Do you think
not get
that's
like
all
a
I
cow or a
eat?
gorilla. I will get
Do you think
anorexic.
that's what I eat? Do I look anorexic?
You kind of do.
Wow, that's funny. I'm actually kind of chunky because I eat junk food. So, but you can
So that's not.
you
See,
can eat.
that's a privilege, isn't it?
Yeah, I
That's a
live in
privilege,
privilege.
isn't
I
it?
live in privilege. But the cheapest foods in the store,
Wouldn't say veganism is
no,
privilege.
I would say it's privilege.
Yes, it is.
I would say there's privilege in having the right over someone else's autonomy. That's privilege.
Mm.
You're using someone else's body and you can get away with it. That's privilege. You don't need to do it though.
Yeah, I mean, we're omnivores. We're designed to eat meat
So
and
just because I can
plants.
do something, does that mean I should when there's a victim?
Wait, what?
Just because I can't, I know it's very loud where you're at. I don't know where you're at.
I'm shopping right now. Sorry, but hold up. You have an announcement going on. I can hear you though.
Okay. So just because I can do something, I might have to mute you. I don't know, that's so loud. Just because I can do something, does that mean I should? My hand can make a fist. People annoy me all the time. Should I be allowed to go punch people in the face because it brings me pleasure? My fist can do so, right? I was evolved to be able to make a fist.
Right, I agree. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. It's not
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
It's not morally
I agree
right.
with you. Why do you think it's wrong for me, even though I've evolved to be able to make a fist and punch people? Why do you think that's wrong for me to do?
Because you're harming others.
Yeah, I'm not just harming others. I'm using them for my benefit, not theirs, right?
Well, let me ask you something. Why do you live in the USA? Don't we live off
I was
the
born here.
Don't we live off the third world, right?
Yeah.
Don't we exploit the third world for their
I
natural
don't think
resources?
that's right, though.
Why do you live here? You don't gotta live
Where do
here.
I go?
Go somewhere
Like where?
else. Go back to Europe, you fucking white lady.
So you're this offended by my skin color?
You fucking colonizer.
Why don't you say it louder in the store? This guy is a racist asshole. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, This guy's a racist asshole. Anyone that's at the store next to this guy, please know that he's a racist asshole.
I was gonna ask him if he was indigenous because he sounds Hispanic, but still,
I mean,
it's pretty crappy.
to his point, I do agree that people that are lacking pigment in their skin typically are immigrants and have taken land from somebody else. So I do understand the vitriol towards people that are very pale, but we're not going to get anywhere if you're just calling me names. Yes, people need to have their rights respected. I do agree that my country is terrible to other countries. I mean, where am I going to move, though? You want me to move to another country and start using their resources? Right? Like, there's really me existing is going to cause harm regardless. So what I can do is with whatever privilege I have, stand up for those that aren't being heard. And that's what I do. So I get where they're kind of getting from, but then they just kind of drop down to name calling. So,
yeah.
Well, if you spam my chat, I'm just going to take you out. I don't need you to spam. It doesn't help us. So thank you. I appreciate you, Lori. All right. Oh, let's go on to the next guest. I appreciate everyone being really patient too, by the way. So thank you for that. Hey, Aiden, are you over 18?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
It's Aiden, right? Okay, good.
Yes,
Just
yes,
ma'am. So why aren't you vegan yet?
I don't believe that unaliving farm animals for the use of its resources to be morally wrong.
Okay. Do you know what veganism is?
Yes, veganism is a starts with there's a certain word
The
to call it. It starts with
exploitation?
an E, I think. No, well, yes, but it's a stance that you all are against exploitation and enslavement of animals and unaliving animals as far as
Oh,
possible.
was it ethical? Was that the word you're trying to think of? Yes.
Yes, it's an ethical
Yes.
stance.
Yes, that is it. So I don't want to demand someone's enslavement, right? Do you agree with that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So then, what is it, I guess, in your mind that separates human animals and other animals that justifies the difference in treatment? What about us is so different that justifies that difference in treatment?
Can you explain that
Yeah.
again? I don't think
That's okay. So what do 100% of humans have that we respect that animals don't have, which makes it okay to farm them? Is there a trait? Is there a resource that we're getting from them?
Let me think about that for a second.
Like, is it because animals are not as intelligent as you and I? Is it because they look different?
Well, I mean, if I did say humans are more intelligent than animals, then like a lot of people would bring up, okay, well, what about people with a disability
Exactly.
that lack a lot of brain functions?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that because they're
Exactly. Why is it though that we respect those fringe cases, those people that aren't up to the average? Why do we respect them?
I would say like, why do a lot of other humans view humans more, or view human rights to be more than anything else, is the fact that it's another human being. I do believe that a lot of humans, for the most part, I do believe a lot of other humans do. There's a certain way I want to word it, but I can't.
Well, let me
think
put
of
it this
right
way.
now.
There's definitely something in humans, but let me put it this way. Let's say there's a dog and a dead human in a fire. Who are you going to save?
Obviously, I'll save the dog.
Exactly. So what is it between the two that's different that makes you want to save the dog?
Well, I would want to save the dog because the dog is alive and the human is
Exactly.
not. I'd want to save something that is. I would save the thing that's alive over the thing that's not alive.
Precisely. There's sentience in there. It's an individual who's having an experience and who cares about what's going to happen to themselves. I agree. I would save the dog too because of that reason, because they're sentient, they're alive.
I do have something I do want to ask you though, if that's okay.
Okay, I just want to finish my point then. It was just that what we care about in other humans, like you say, it's another human. It's easier to relate with your own species in that you see their reactions and that they're so similar to yours. So that's how we know that other humans are sentient and that they care about what's happening to themselves. Same thing though with other animals. It's a little harder because they look different and their priorities are different. But we've now learned through thousands and thousands of behavioral studies that other animals are just as sentient as us, that they look forward to that next experience. Go ahead and ask your question.
The question that I kind of did want to ask, it was just to gauge of how you view your worldview. It was, do you believe that morality itself is objective, or do you believe that morality itself is subjective?
Subjective.
Okay. And then the second kind of was, I see a lot of vegans kind of use this logic. It's like when crop dust gets brought up, it's a lot of if I'm not wrong, half the crop dust does go to farm animals, and
more than half.
The other person, it's a big percentage of it goes to farm animals, and then another percentage of it goes to humans.
There's actually a study on it, but I'll tell you about it when you're done.
So if we were to use that same logic, so say that there's a lot of stuff with pigs that I don't eat. Or I don't like bacon, I don't like bologna, I don't like ham, I don't like all that, and I don't really eat it. There's a lot of parts of the fish. I mean, for the most part, I don't even really eat fish. There's a lot of the cows that I don't eat, or a lot of parts in the cow that I don't eat or use. So could we use that same logic and say that I don't condone the slaughter of those animals? I think I worded that right.
Well, let me repeat back if I understood correctly. Are you saying that because you don't eat certain animals, that it's because you don't want them to see them slaughtered? Is that what you're saying? You don't want to see certain animals slaughtered, so you don't consume them?
Well, it's just I just don't eat it.
Oh, you just don't.
Like,
Is it out of preference of like it's not your favorite taste, pleasure, or something, or is it because of the animals? I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand what you said. That's all.
No, it's I would say taste pleasure.
Okay,
I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah, I grew up with the same
bacon.
taste pleasure. I absolutely understand that hook. What it comes down to though is when you see what the animals have to endure, you know, and even on the nice farms, even if they're not sitting in their crap and they're not being hit, I still wouldn't want to lose my life at the whim of for someone else to have pleasure eating my insides, right? Yeah. So, I guess my reason for not using those animals is because I wouldn't want to be used or consumed or exploited. I hear that you're saying that you just don't like to consume those animals out of preference for your, I'm assuming your taste pleasure. Oh, yeah, you said that. Your taste pleasure. So, like, let's say they all tasted really good. Like, you enjoyed the flavor of all animal products. Would you then say it's justified to use animal products?
I feel like, let me try.
Okay.
Is it just for me,
just
or
you.
is it in a
I'm always
broad...
just asking who's ever on my panel, their preferences and their ideals of things.
I mean, if there's a certain way I want to word it, but I can't think of it, or I'm trying to think of the way to word it.
Well, I'm just asking, do you think that taste pleasure justifies taking someone's life?
No.
Yeah,
I think if it's I think if it's just for,
I mean, so if you think about it, taste pleasure is just a sensory experience, right? It's akin to entertainment. It's something that we can get from something else as well. But even if we couldn't, just because we get this insane pleasure doesn't justify violating someone. And, you know, like I said, animals are sentient. They care about their lives just as much as you and I. They want to have that next positive experience.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess what animal products do you use, or what's like holding you back from living, you know, for animal or living vegan for the animals?
Repeat that for me one more time.
What's stopping you from living a life where you respect other animals?
I guess it's just a taste
Okay.
preference.
Who are you eating? Who are you eating still?
I eat a lot of chicken. I eat a lot of ground beef.
Have you seen
kind of.
Have you seen what the chickens and cows have to go through?
Are you talking about Dominion?
I mean, Dominion is a great documentary that shows you all of that. Have you seen it?
I've seen a little bit of it. I don't like the sight of blood.
Okay.
I've never been a fan of it, even when it comes to my own blood.
Okay. So if it's so hard to see, imagine what the animals are going through. They have to feel it.
I mean,
they have to experience that. And every time that you purchase those products, they have to, without regard of what they can tolerate, right? They have to endure that. You get the option to not even look, and you purchase it. So you're demanding it without even looking and making someone else endure something you can't even watch.
I mean, couldn't we use that same logic though for the animal byproducts that we all as human beings do use?
I don't use animal byproducts.
I thought there was a lot of animal byproducts that didn't have vegan alternatives that some vegans do use.
Like
I can't think of them off the top of my head.
Are you talking about like the asphalt and money and like the walls? Is that what you're like? Sometimes houses use animal inputs for dry sheet wall or something like that. Is that what you're talking about? Is like those kind of things?
Maybe I thought there were some other things because I've had a conversation with someone that was a vegan a while back, and they were talking to me about animal byproducts that they still use, that they use, but the only reason they use is because there is no alternative vegan option for it. It's just,
I don't know what that product would be. I live vegan. I have vegan clothing. I have vegan cosmetics. I have even my medicine. I make sure.
I do have a
Yeah.
question. What is vegan clothing?
Oh,
What-
it just means it doesn't use an animal. I don't demand someone be exploited for my clothing. I usually will buy it secondhand, or I'll actually seek out a company that I know has ethical practices and doesn't use animals.
I always wondered what material. I mean, I probably could just look it
Cotton
up,
or
but I always did wonder.
synthetics, hemp. There's others.
All that's animal byproduct use.
No, that's
right?
animal free. Cotton.
Oh yeah,
Cotton is a
I
plant.
don't. Yeah, I don't know. My mind went
Oh,
off.
okay.
I was thinking of when you said cotton. The first thing I thought of was wool.
Yeah, it could easily replace that. And then we've got hemp. Hemp is also very versatile and can grow really fast anywhere. We could probably eliminate a lot of our monocrops with hemp because it's just so versatile and such a great material. But it's another plant that you can wear, you can use, eat it. It's very, very versatile. So we have a lot of options as vegans. I don't know what that other person who called themselves vegan is saying that they have to use. That's not vegan.
I don't. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe she didn't say it was. She had it, again. This was like this. This was months ago.
Well, like, what's stopping you? What's the thing that is it? Just the taste pleasure in general?
I would say. Yeah, taste pleasure is one of it, and a lot of it is like a lot of the food I do get it for free, luckily.
Okay.
And
I mean, you can ask those that are giving you food to provide you just more grains and beans and rice.
It's it's more of like my family does own, like we have cows. And so like a lot of we have cows, and a lot of the cows a lot of the meat that I do get is from there.
I mean, I understand that it's free, but is that really worth taking someone's everything because you have a convenient meal?
There's my brain's going numb for a second.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I don't know.
It's not something, especially if your family has a farm, it's going to be harder to recognize that those cows care about what happens to themselves because it might feel like an overwhelming situation that there's a bunch of rights violations occurring and your family's doing it. And I can understand that being a big feeling of like, I don't know what to do about that. I would just say, focus on yourself, focus on your choices, right? Don't think about what you have to do to change others. Just think about, what can I do to not demand someone else's exploitation?
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let a different guest up here though.
Okay. Well, let me ask you one last question. Actually, two last questions, and I'll let you go. Okay. How many more animals do you want exploited for you? Is it more than 0?
When you say
how many do you want? Like in an ideal world for you, how many animals would you prefer be exploited for you?
Oh, I mean, in an ideal world, I really would hope for no one has to be exploited or has to experience suffering.
Exactly. See, you share the same principles as us. That's all that question shows you, is that you also feel like other animals shouldn't be exploited for you. And the thing is, you can do that. We actually have all the tools available right now. And I understand your situation's unique if your family owns a farm, but you still can make great change. You can live vegan, and sometimes just existing as a vegan can help other people change. Maybe you'll influence your family to change their farm over. There's actually resources for farmers. There's the Viva Farming Project. They help dairy farms specifically transition to like growing mushrooms. And then there's also the Transformation. They also help farmers transition away from using animals. And then my favorite one is the Ranchers Advocacy Program. That one's run by Renee, who owns Rowdy Girl Sanctuary. And their backstory is actually quite interesting. Her and her husband had a ranch, and she got her husband to change his ranch to a sanctuary. So they've now made it their mission to help other people that are in the same situation that want to change. So
I wonder
Yeah,
if they.
could I just
Oh,
add that Renee and I will be on a panel on Wednesday at 7 p.m. There's a few of us
exciting.
that have transitioned. There's also Burnett's Farm, I think it's called. So if you want to tune in, several farmers have changed. I've changed. I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. So it's possible to change in these environments, is my point. So it's through Animal Justice. Animal Justice will be putting that on. So
Nice.
Aiden, feel free to tune in. You can check him out on Facebook and check that out.
That is exciting.
I do have.
Sorry.
I do have one question. Yeah, I do have one question before I go, because I do have to go to work here soon. If you're still with the sanctuary and you still own cows, is it still possible? Because I know a lot of people who do own cows just own it for taxes. Like I think so.
Okay.
I think there are some people that do own like cows for like a tax return or something like that.
I don't know.
I'll have to do more research.
I
into
personally think that there should be some government systems in every country that it can afford to take care of these animals that we've bred into existence, because it's our fault that they're here. So if someone can take care of a cow and the government will pay for that, that's fantastic. I don't think that's how it works, but in fact, it's because I see sanctuaries always need help. There's always medical procedures are never cheap, and animals, we're animals, and everybody gets sick or hurt at some point. It's inevitable. And
yeah, it's expensive. It's really expensive too when it comes to like worming cows or along the lines of those.
I mean, any of them, right?
medicine.
Like chickens, they're really delicate, right? They've got all these fine systems. Everything's so small on them and delicate. And if you raise them and you try to take care of them in a healthy manner, they still will have a lot of issues because of the way that we've bred them to just either grow really fast or overproduce eggs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm about to step down.
Okay,
Though.
my last question. I'll
though.
throw you one last question, and
Yes.
it's going to be real quick. Would you be willing to go onto my website and watch the 3-minute film? Just click on See What I Find. It's 3 minutes. Would you be willing to watch that?
Yeah, I can.
Awesome, Aiden.
When I get time,
Oh yeah,
I'll look
of course. Would you be willing to go plant-based until you watch it? So just don't purchase any more animal products. Just until you watch. Awesome, Aiden. That's amazing. Thank you for doing that. If you watch it and anything's changed for you, or it doesn't change, please reach out to me or any of the vegans on my panel. I would love to know if it was helpful for you or not.
Okay.
Thank you, Aiden. Thank you for coming up here.
You
too. Have a great day. That was fantastic, guys.
The world's changing.
The world is changing. Also, that's really exciting that you're going to be on the panel with Renee. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm so lucky. It's my second time being on a similar panel with her.
Aww.
But she just takes up the room. Like everybody's like, who is this lady? Oh my gosh, she's so exciting. And it's great. Honestly, it helps me because then I don't have to answer so many questions.
Yeah, she definitely has a big personality. I could see that happening. All that just giant grin that she always has.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, awesome. I will definitely be tuning into that. Let's see. I want to do a quick check on my peeps in my chats. How's everyone doing? Oh, is it 7 p.m. Eastern time?
I believe so,
Okay.
yes. And people, smash like, hit subscribe, share it the stream, show Anna some support. I mean, incredible work, you guys, with anti-animal use as well.
Thank you. We had a lot of
you're amazing.
conversations off camera. I was really sad that we weren't able to capture more. Like we only had the few, and there were so many others on the side that were like amazing. People being like, I had no idea. I talked to this old couple. Like this couple looked like they were maybe I shouldn't guesstimate their age, but they were on the farther end than you would expect. And they were so open-minded. I expected them to like
Oh.
dig their heels in hard. And they were like, like 3 questions in, they're like, no, veganism is more ethical for the animals specifically. And I was like, oh my God, I've never met someone so open before. And they took a card.
Can you imagine having that all live on different
Oh,
screens at all the time? You know? Oh my
yes. We've
gosh.
talked about that too, having multiple of us going live and doing interviews. And yeah, that would be fantastic. I would love that. Spooky says, love to the panel from the chat. Aw, thank you, Spooky. Appreciate that. All right, let's see. Real quick over here on the TikTok. Can I come up, Connor? Yes, give me 2 seconds. And then it looks like everyone else is just kind of a troll. Did I miss anybody else? Very respectful. Yeah. Hey, Baba Yaga, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. Yeah, definitely dubs in the chat for that last guest. I like when people are open-minded enough to go look at resources. Oh, shit. Gotta move my puzzle piece. Okay. All right. Let me double check my YouTube since I just moved the chat window. Good. Okay, we're back. Cool. Connor, thank you for your patience. And then Billy, you'll be next. Hey, Connor, are you over 18?
Yeah.
Cool. Why aren't you vegan yet?
So pretty much just because of the nutrition that I prefer in my diet. For example, dairy provides calcium.
Mm-hmm.
Red meat provides B vitamins, heme iron, protein, and zinc. Eggs provide choline and selenium. And seafood provides omega-3 and D3.
Okay. Do you think you can't get those from other sources?
Not from a vegan, not from a 100% vegan source. No, I would have to take supplements.
Okay. So do you know what the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics is?
No.
Okay. So they're the largest organization of diet professionals, people that focus on how your diet affects your health. And they all have come to a shared conclusion that a vegan diet is safe and healthy for all stages of life. They're not the only organization. It's actually all the major health organizations have recognized this, that you can get everything you need on a on a plant-based diet that's well planned out. So with that in mind, if you found out on your own, if you through your own research, found out that you could actually get all those things on a vegan diet, would you then find it to be a moral obligation to live vegan?
Well, I think that's a bit of misinformation because even though you say you can get those things, it's going to be in such a small amount that you would have to eat so much for it to have an actual effect. And it gets to the point where, one, it's just overeating, and two, it's a waste of money.
So the people,
when you could just opt for animal products that are going to be way more potent and all of these key nutrients, which are actually life-changing nutrients when they're consumed consistently.
so why is it then the longest lived people eat the least amount of animal products and the most amount of plants?
I know about the Japanese people who are
There's also California.
the group of Japanese people who are the longest
Well,
living,
that's
and
one
they
of the blue
actually eat
zones. That's one of the blue zones. Yes.
yeah, that's one of them, but that's just the example I'm going to use. And they do eat a lot of seafood.
They don't eat a
also
lot
eat
of seafood.
a lot of no,
No,
they
they
do.
don't.
They also eat
They
a lot of
eat a lot
plant-based.
of plant food. They don't eat a lot of seafood.
Right, and I think eating a lot of plant-based is great.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that's great, but
So if you found
you
out,
can't go
Connor,
from one
listen,
extreme to the other.
you're
It
not
has to be
answering
in the
my
middle.
question. If you found out you could get everything on a vegan diet, a plant-based diet, a well-planned plant-based diet,
You can't.
Connor,
You can't
stop.
though.
You're getting stuck. You're not hearing me. Imagine with me, okay? Come with me on this story. Imagine.
Okay, I
Imagine
will.
you
I
can
will.
get everything you can on a well-planned plant-based diet. Do you in that world believe then that you have a moral obligation to live vegan for the animals?
No, I don't think I'm
Okay,
obligated.
so even
I
in the
think
world,
it'd be nice.
even in the hypothetical world I just painted for you, where you don't need to use them, you would still use them.
I mean, you're trying to make me look
I'm
bad
not
with
trying to
a
make you
fairy
look
tale.
bad. I'm trying to point out your logic.
Yeah, you're trying
Can
to
you
say my
answer
logic
me
is
or
bad
do
by
I need
using
to
a
move
fairy
on?
tale. Well, I
In
mean,
the
the answer
event,
would be no because it's a fairy
in,
tale.
so you,
It's not a
I was
fairy
just,
tale. Just
just
answer the
answer it.
question. I
Okay,
mean,
my
I've been
answer
vegan
is
for 12 years, so how's it a fairy tale?
all right. So my answer
I'm
would
just
be
making this up. I'm alive. Oh my god, I'm alive. Holy cow. How am I alive for 12 years? Oh my goodness. Like
what are
what the
you
fuck?
talking
He's
about, dude?
vegan for 12 years. You
Anyways,
said that you can't do it.
okay. Anyways, no, I'm saying I wouldn't feel morally obligated. However, I may still choose that lifestyle if I could get all the nutrients that I
Why would you
needed.
choose that lifestyle?
Because I just want the lifestyle that provides me health, that
Okay.
provides me
You
nutrients,
can be healthy
energy.
with both. But let's say in this scenario, right? You can be healthy with either one. What would you do in that situation?
Obviously, you know, the first thing that comes to mind is what is a more reasonably economical situation, right? What is a better
Okay.
what is a better way to
Let's move
spend
on
your
to a
money?
different example. Because you keep moving away from the individuals. Do you think that someone kicking a dog?
Well, money matters. That
Okay.
we're not going to act like
Let's
money
step to the
doesn't
side.
matter.
If someone's kicking a dog because it gives them joy and exercise, do you think that's moral?
Absolutely
I
not. That
agree.
is
I
no.
agree. Okay, I'm glad we agree on that. Why do you think that that's immoral?
I mean, you don't really. It's not that I can explain it. It's just like an innate
You can explain it.
feature.
What if I'm
It's just
kicking a
no. It's
tree?
just like how
If
my.
I'm kicking a tree, are you going to stop me?
I mean, not if it's nothing too. If you're damaging the tree immensely, yeah, but
You
not
would
if
care.
it's
I mean, we
nothing too
chop down
crazy.
trees all the time. You care about us chopping down a tree?
I mean, if you're damaging a tree for no reason, yeah, because trees are beautiful and add
People do
a
it all
lot
the
of
time
to
on
a
their
lot
houses. Are
to
you
neighborhoods.
going to people's properties and being like, "Don't cut down that tree"?
No, because it's their property.
Okay. So again, do you care about the tree itself?
Absolutely, I love nature.
Okay. So if I'm kicking a tree and I'm kicking a dog, or someone else is kicking a dog, who are you going to stop?
Well, the dog first,
Right.
obviously.
Okay. So why?
Because there's no reason for
But there's
that.
no reason to kick the tree. Why do you value the dog more?
Because it has emotions and there's no reason for it.
Exactly. They feel. They care about what's going to happen to themselves. Do you think that there's a difference between that dog and cows, pigs, and chickens, fish, goats?
Absolutely, which
What's
is
the
why
difference?
one's a pet and
What's
one
the
isn't.
difference?
One is able to be a pet and one
What
isn't.
makes you think that cows, pigs, and chickens can't be pets? You don't think people have them as pets?
Put one in your house. Put one in
People
your
do
house,
that.
and you tell
People
me.
have. It was on the show Friends. They had a duck as a pet.
So you're trying to relate
So
an
I'm trying to
imaginary
say
show
that
to
you
real
have
life.
arbitrary values, right? You just deem this one is this category and this one's that category, but you actually don't
absolutely true.
have a reason why. It's
absolutely
cultural.
true.
No, you're just told from someone. Someone told you don't eat that one.
No, that's my
Then why
idea.
don't you
That's
eat
my
dogs?
Because it's a pet. Like I
But
just told you, it's a
what
pet.
makes a pet? Define what a pet is to me.
A companion.
Okay, why can't a chicken be a companion?
It doesn't take orders.
Not all dogs take orders.
You can't train it. You can train dogs.
You can train a chicken. They're very smart.
No, not like a
Connor,
pet. You can't
chickens
train it
can
like a
count
pet.
when they're born. You can train a chicken.
How do you know that?
What do you mean?
How
How
do
do
we
I
know
fucking
that?
know that?
No.
I've done research. Connor, get out of here. I'm so done talking to you. You're such an arrogant a-hole.
What a loser. What a complete loser.
Jesus.
Okay, you can't, like, guys clearly never been around hens. They purr, they can see in more colors than humans. And yes, of course, they can do little tricks and stuff like that. Guys just triggered. And of course, like, what about dogs? Yeah, they eat dogs in other countries and they would scoff at people eating other animals.
Yeah.
So absolutely
It's just
ridiculous.
cultural lines, but he didn't want to admit that. He just wanted to keep talking and moving the goalpost. So he knew he was in the wrong. He knew as soon as the dog kicking example came up, and it's like, you don't need to do that. Oh, he reported us. Oh, he's crying now. Well, I guess we'll just bypass that. You guys okay if I restart? You want to come back up? I don't know if you're there. Lori, did you hear me? I'm going to restart the live just because he reported the live. Oh, hey, it's Mel and Steve. Yeah, that guy was a man baby. Big old man baby. All right.
Boo hoo.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the live and then restart it because he now made it so we are ineligible to be shared. So I'll be right back, okay? All right, I'm assuming you guys know. I'll see you guys in a second. Oh, somebody gave me a donation. I didn't even see it. Oh, I feel bad now. Shoot. That was really kind of them. All right, let's go. Oh, my chat's moved. There we go. Yeah. Not, and honestly, clearly I was also triggered from him being a butthole, so that's why I kicked him. It's okay to feel triggered. We tease each other about that. It's okay to feel triggered. It's okay to feel angry. But you got to understand why you're feeling that way. What button did they just push, right? I really hate it when people demean other sentient beings. It's just because I'm a sentient being. I've felt what it's like to be demeaned, and it wasn't even to my detriment. Like didn't take my life or anything, but just experiencing that is uncomfortable and nobody should have to deal with it. And, animals have it the worst. Other animals. We're animals. Okay. Thank you to Hey, David. Oh, I wanted to fix, make sure that everything's lined up right.
Oh, Connor.
Yeah.
What a
big baby Connor.
Yeah, that was crazy. Huh?
Yeah.
He just didn't want to answer your question. Like he was just trying to find a way to dodge, and then you brought it back to dogs, and he broke.
Yeah. I don't think people tend to think like my culture is moral, and it's like culture isn't moral. Culture is just something someone did a long time ago, or tradition even, and we're just repeating it. And it's fine to question these things and be like, why are we doing this? Should we be doing this? But,
yeah, exactly. Like just because you've been told someone's arbitrarily this way, and what's sad is he said that he has chickens on his property.
that is sad.
How can you view anyways?
That's so sad. Yeah, because I'm always terrified when I see people with backyard chickens because it's like people think, oh, it's the most humane situation. I'm like, those people probably don't know what they're doing, first off. And, they don't know what they're even in for. These chickens over time, sometimes their shells become weak and they break in their cloaca, and then you got to take them to the vet. And like I said earlier, they have really delicate body parts. And I can't imagine it's cheap to have a chicken, checked by a vet. And if you have multiples of those chickens, I mean, it's taking care of someone's already expensive, like a cat or a dog. To take on a dozen or even a half a dozen individuals all at once, I just can't help but think that they're going to take their lives instead of taking them to the vet, and it's so sad to see.
Well, I think oftentimes I'll ask them if they've ever had a vet come visit. A lot of them will say, no, they look fine. They're okay. They're doing okay. Really, you can't tell by observing someone as a regular person. Like if a vet were to see, you can see little things, right? But these people don't. They don't look at animals that way.
Yeah.
So
like I had a friend that had a cockatiel, or cockatiel, the little ones. And that bird loved her so much. And she loved that bird. They were just a pair. But because that bird loved her so much, that bird started to lay eggs for her in the bottom of her cage. And it was cute at first. Like we even cracked them open. They're like these tiny, like little tiny eggs. And she took her bird to the vet, though, because her bird was starting to look really tired. And the vet was like, oh my God, she's laying eggs. You need to get her to stop immediately. That is detrimental to her. That will take her life early. And then I think about the chickens and I'm like, oh my God, what have we done to them? What have we done?
yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely absurd. Yeah, we've genetically engineered every single animal out there to grow as fast as possible. And Kyle said in the side chat that, oh, these animals can't have diseases by 6 weeks old, which is absolutely absurd, right? And they can track pathogens. Obviously, it's maybe some of them won't have full-on diseases, but many of them do. Many of the flocks that would come in would have cellulitis, so many different types of cancers and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, and even if they didn't get diseases in that 6 weeks, you're literally just saying they're too young of a baby to have contracted any disease. I only eat babies. Like,
Yeah, quite
ugh.
literally, you're eating
Yeah,
babies.
like they haven't lived long enough to get a disease. Yeah, we know. Well, they do get diseases. David went over, but even if they didn't, like we know they're really young. Yeah, they haven't experienced much life by the time you use them.
Yeah, and you're like literally also too eating breasts, which is kind of weird if you think about it, eating breasts. And then also the fact that they can't even hold their own body weight, right? You know, equivalent to like I think they said a 250-pound human being. That's how much
Oh
a
my
little
God,
bird
that's so
would
huge.
weigh.
I'm not even that
Right? Isn't
weight.
that crazy? Right. Yeah. At 5, 7 weeks old,
Yeah,
right? Crazy.
that's heartbreaking, disgusting. Anyway, it's like you can opt out of
Yeah.
that. You don't need to demand that. If you go vegan, you're not demanding that anymore. And eventually, the more of us that become vegan and start speaking up for those individuals, they'll stop doing it. You know, but we gotta be active. I mean, being vegan is the first step for sure, you know, stopping demanding yourself. But the next step is
Yeah.
definitely starting to speak up for those victims. Well, should we start bringing people up? I've got some requests. Let's see. Oh, Billy, definitely going to bring you up. You were patient. Please come on up. And then 9, I believe you've also been there. And Zine, I see you as well. Hey, Billy, thank you for your patience. Hi.
Hello.
Are you over 18? Cool.
Yes.
Why aren't you vegan yet?
I don't know. I just like to think I can see like both sides. Like, I mean, it's more of a preference thing for like the human race. Like, we don't want to consider where this like comes from or how it like gets put on our plate. But the moment we do, it's like, I don't know. I think it's weird. Because, like, as soon as people realize how, like, messed up the food industry is when it comes to getting those types of meats and types of stuff on your plate, like, you'd realize just how messed up the human race is. But at the same time, we have a choice whether or not we can eat those animals or not. And a lot of people choose the other way. Like, a lot of people are choosing to eat flesh without realizing like the implications behind it, the demand, the not even like the technical demand, but the emotional demand. And I think it's just like interesting that we're numb to that.
I agree.
Like throughout the entire human, like throughout, like maybe in the earliest centuries it was necessary, but we've evolved to the point where it's like it's an option. We have substitutions. We have options now.
Are you vegan?
And I mean, I don't know, not really.
Okay. What?
I mean,
You talk
I'd say
like
I'm
one.
kind of on the fence. I know, it's weird. Like, I can see both sides of like the issue. Like, say, like in the wild, animals need to eat for like survival because say like a tiger is eating an antelope, they need it for like nutritions and stuff because they're carnivores. But as the human race, we are omnivores and we have the choice whether or not to do
Well, it's
that.
not so. It's
And
more
I think
like
it's
we
just
have
like,
the ability to do something. Do you think that
yeah,
just
exactly
because we
that
have the
too.
ability that we should when there's a victim?
I think we should. Deep down, I think we should. But at the same time, I don't think that the majority of the human race would agree too, because there are still some people out there, like the last guy that tore down this live. He is like one of those people who is like stuck in their ways and they're like, no, we have to do this. This is why we have to do it. And da 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 da, like without actually supporting why we have to do it. It's like, no, we don't really have to do it. It's a choice. And it's not exactly the right choice, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just
No,
weird.
I can understand what you're saying. That you're kind of just recognizing it. It's a bit of a like a futility thing. Like there's a lot of people out there, and there's a lot of stubborn people. And it's more like we don't need to change everyone's mind. We just need those that are. And I think that most people agree with vegan values that you shouldn't exploit someone when you don't need to. It's just that we're fed a lot of messages all day that say in order to be
Yeah.
successful, in order to have friends, in order to be happy, you have to use animals in your food, clothing, whatever. And but the science is showing us that we don't need to, and the animals are sentient. They don't want to be used just like we don't. So what I'm trying to do is just talk to people one-on-one and try to understand, first of all, what their values are, if they are one of the people I want to talk to. And if they are, what's holding them back from being the person that they principally think they are, but are not acting as. So, like, what's stopping you? What's the thing that's holding you back from living your own principles? Because you sound like a very principled person.
I'd say mostly preference. Because I like to eat, honestly, I like to eat most, like, I don't even like meat in general. Like, I'd eat it probably rarely. So I'd say I'm more, I don't know. I don't know, really, because I'd say that there are some meats out there that I like to eat, but I know that it's like the hardships that it took to get that meat there. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know.
Well, if you
I'm on the
if you
fence about that. I've
watched
been considering
if you
veganism.
watched what they went through before you were about to consume them, would you feel comfortable consuming them?
I think it would bring me discomfort, but at the same time, I wouldn't feel like completely bad about it.
Okay. What if it were like puppies?
Puppies? Yeah, no, that's a different situation.
Okay.
I think, and I see that too. Like, some animals are okay to eat, but at the same time, it's okay to exploit them too. Like, how is that fair?
Exactly. What
Like,
is it in
like
your
for
mind?
example,
Well, real quick, what's the difference in your mind that, it's okay to eat a chicken, but not okay to eat a dog?
nutrients.
Oh, dogs have
And sure, we
nutrients.
can have like,
Dogs have nutrients. In fact, there are cultures that eat dogs.
true. I think it's more about like preferred nutrients.
Okay, but what I'm trying to
Like,
get
it's
at,
about the
what I'm trying to get
choice.
at is that you said if someone was to serve you dog, no questions asked, you're not touching that, right? But if it's
Unless like you didn't know that it was
right, no,
dog.
they're telling you it's dog, you would say no, right? Someone lays out a centerpiece, it's a dog, looks like it's been cooked like a turkey, but it's a dog. Would you eat it?
Probably
Okay.
not.
Why?
Probably just preference. Like, we
Okay.
don't
They
eat
tell you
the animals that we
that
don't
the dog
like.
tastes 100
Like,
times better than any other animal product. Are you gonna eat it?
even then, like,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
because it's like the preference.
So
Like,
it's
at
more
the same
like
time,
the
it's like
preference of who
for
it is.
us, it's like no, like yeah. Well, actually, yeah, because it's like the thing is like I like to think of like the human race as a whole. For some animals, we use them for like labor, and then some animals we just eat.
I mean, again,
And
it's
it's
culture.
like,
It's not. So your culture says it's not okay to eat dogs. There are other human cultures that use dogs like we use
true,
pigs. Yeah.
true.
So it's not a human thing.
Bill,
It's your culture.
Billy, what
Oh,
if
I'm sorry, David. Go ahead.
what? Sorry to
No,
interrupt,
please.
Billy. What if we were to take, like, right now we have dogs in shelters, right? There's an overpopulation in shelters. What if we were to say, like, remove those dogs from the shelters and fatten them up and decide that we're going to put them into the food chain? Would then that be acceptable?
I don't think so, but at the same time, you do
Would you be
realize
against
like
it?
some people would be for that, which is really, really sad.
Well,
Like, I
but
like to consider the human race as a whole,
yeah,
and some people would actually consider doing that. And it's really sad and it's really disgusting.
yeah, but there's no real difference between doing that with other animals, right? Like we've done to pigs, right?
True.
Some will argue pigs are actually smarter than dogs. So what would be the relevant difference between, say, a dog and a pig? We put one in a gas chamber and we
Because
pet the other
one
one.
culture sees the animal as a servant, and the other culture sees the animal as food. But in the end, neither sides are really right in their reasoning.
Yeah. So what again, what would be holding you back from, say, like, have you ever imagined yourself in their position?
No, not really. That's a very interesting perspective.
Yeah, like imagine like, we had that situation happen where we were shut down for so long. Imagine your life was spent in a closet and you couldn't leave that closet, and that was just your life until you had an execution date, you know. Like I would also look at too, like, have you ever been hurt, disenfranchised? Do you know someone who's been hurt or disenfranchised? Would you do something to protect them? Would you do something to stop that? That's sort of like what this is. It's actually a lot easier, to be honest. Like I'm eating popcorn right now. Like I don't have to be part of this system that oppresses others. And I think oftentimes we look towards what the world can do. We look to what everyone else is doing instead of taking our own sort of personal accountability in that.
True.
Yeah, if we're talking about a closet, imagine that closet only having bars and you can only lay in one position the whole time. And you're nursing babies after babies after babies after babies, and you don't even get to see them. The mothers go through the same thing human moms go through if you take their babies away. They scream for them just like cows run after the people who take their babies away. So you're helping that by putting money into that. You're having babies taken away from their moms, and their moms chase after these trucks. You can see it on video. And, those babies, they're males. They get taken away because they're considered a waste product. So they go right into either veal or they unalive them that day. It's the same with male chicks. They unalive male chicks. They put them on a like a, I forget what you call it, but it's
Conveyor
like
belt?
a rope conveyor belt. That's it. Yeah. And on their first day of life, they're macerated, if you know what that means. They're ground up because they're considered a waste product. They can't lay eggs, and they can't have that many males. So they're ground up the first day of life. The minute they're dry, they put them on a conveyor belt and they're put in a macerator. So you buy eggs, you're participating in that.
Yeah, so I would also echo the fact that we're kind of undereducated in this situation. Like a lot of people don't understand what happens, like with the macerated chicks or other animals, and some of the things they get exploited through. Like most people
Isn't
probably
it one
wouldn't
of them
know.
where they get like their beaks clipped? Like
Yeah,
like
so
that's
that
birds?
would be
standard
Yeah,
the
I
practice
think
that
I saw
happens.
something about that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
so
Which
that
is
that up
ooh.
yeah. So they don't peck each other. Pigs will
That's
have their
male.
tails
Yeah.
cut off. They'll have their testicles ripped out. They'll have their teeth notched out.
Yeah.
There's so many different things that people just aren't aware of, right? So like there's the education piece, but then there's again like have you ever spent time with a chicken? Have you ever spent time with a pig? Like have you been at a sanctuary, Billy?
I have. I mean, my grandma used to have chickens on her farm, and sadly, they were eaten. But yeah, because the thing is, you see that as like a kid, and you realize, like, wow, that's wrong. Like, you knew this chicken for quite some time, and then it's like, bam, they're gone like that. They're food. And in the end, it's not right. But in the end, if it's benefiting the human race as a whole, I don't think other people would
So
necessarily care,
so digging down to that,
which
but
is
forgetting
really
about
fucked up.
forget about what society does as a whole. But so you remember that first time then maybe, right? You remember uh, figuring out that the chickens were being unalived?
Oh, yeah, sorry, my shit's being weird. Oof.
So do you remember that moment though? So how did that make you feel when you found out about that?
Honestly, not very good.
Yeah. Do you think maybe you were desensitized then? Because
At that
oftentimes
point,
like
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
And so that can grow throughout the years, right? Like you just become numb to it, disassociation, stuff like that, right?
I think something like that has definitely happened to like the human race. We've
Yeah.
become so like used to being the dominant species that we feel that it's like our right to do that, even though in the end it's not right.
Right. And so would you agree that might doesn't make right, or we shouldn't participate in systems of oppression?
Yep, I do agree.
And so if you were, again, like, let's put you back into the chicken's position, like you see the chicken in the cage here. You wouldn't want to be there. Would you call that an injustice to what's happening to them?
I would, but at
Yeah.
the same time, a lot of people wouldn't really care.
Yeah. So
which is
but
sad.
let's talk about you. Let's talk about you, right? So you would agree it's an injustice. So like any other injustice, would you be 100% against that injustice, or would you just continue and be okay with it happening?
No, but at the same time, what else could there like really like be done? I mean,
Yeah.
sure, we
Well,
can
we take,
influence people one by one and
yeah.
like change minds as like a group, but as
Well, Billy,
society as a whole,
let me put
I doubt that
this to you
change would
this way.
stick, which
Let me
is
put
really
it,
sad.
yeah, let me put it to you this way. If you could save between 5,000 and 20,000 lives, and they were right in front of you today, just by switching to a different diet, would you?
Probably.
Yeah. So that's the whole point, right? Like, you can take yourself out of that. For me, I can't, like, I use this analogy. Like, if I go to a politician and I want them to say, change something about the climate, and they ask me, like, what steps have you taken to change the climate? And I say, well, I haven't. They're going to not take me seriously, right? It's just the same as if I go ask them to, you know, maybe add more vegan options to the menus or something like that. And they're like, are you vegan? And I say, no, you know, they're not going to take me as seriously. So by advocating against this and putting myself in the forefront of being against oppression, people are going to take me more seriously. And then I'm also not going to be a part of that system. So I'm sort of in alignment with my core values, like Anna was saying earlier.
So I guess, Billy, what it comes down to, since you already answered this, you know, if you just have to keep putting yourself in the victim's perspective, because even though you may be naturally numb to what's happening to them, the individuals that are experiencing it are not numb to it. And I'm sure that if you were the victim, even if your oppressor was numb to your suffering, you would still want them to stop using you, right?
True.
Yeah. So that's just the position you're in. You are the oppressor right now. You have the power to stop demanding individuals be exploited for you. And that's huge, because one person doing that can prevent 100 to even up to 300 individuals from being born into that system. That's a big deal. Like, I know when you hear a number like 100, you know, you just think of a
You
group.
should watch Dominion.
Yeah, we'll definitely need you to watch the documentary, but I want you to just remember, like, you are one person on a planet of billions of humans. Even though we are a giant group, you still care about yourself. If you were to pass away tomorrow, the world will keep spinning. But your life matters to you, right? It's everything to you. And if someone was going to threaten that, you wouldn't want that. So just because there's many chickens, there's many cows, there's so many, each one of them care. And if you can prevent 100 to 300 individuals from having to go through that system, you're a hero.
Okay, I guess I never really saw it that way.
I mean,
I think it's also important to remember, sorry to
please.
interrupt, but I think it's also important to remember, Billy, that a lot of the way that we perceive this is because we were born and raised in a society where that's just the way things are. And so we don't really know anything different. So we're kind of brainwashed in a way to accept that this is why these animals are here, that we're breeding them into existence simply to exploit them as a resource. And like you said, you know, like a lot of other people just accept that and don't care. But we are raised to think this way, but it doesn't mean we can't change the way we think. It doesn't mean we can't change, because this is all about perception. I mean, you were saying you have a problem with eating dogs. You probably have a problem with eating dogs because here in the United States, they're companions to us. They're not food to us. But to the host's point, and to the 40-year-old vegan's point, there are other places in the world where dogs are food, you know? So it's all in our perception, which we can change. And at the end of the day, it's not about whether or not the entire world goes 100% vegan or whether everybody else goes vegan. It's really about you and how you feel about your contribution to the injustice. And so, you know, if it's the right thing to do at the end of the day, then it's just the right thing to do, right? So if exploiting these animals goes against your morals, then you definitely might want to consider becoming vegan, you know, like we did, because we just discovered, we just learned new information and we said, you know what, we don't agree with this. We think it's wrong. And so just like any other injustice, you take a stand against it.
Okay. Interesting
So,
perspective.
now that you've learned all this, how are you feeling about using animals? Do you want to keep exploiting animals?
Honestly, I don't think I'd exploit animals any more than I do
Will you
anymore at this point.
continue?
I definitely will. One thing for sure is have like second thoughts about it. Like that's
What do you
for
think the
sure.
chicken gets if you do that?
I'm not a really big fan of chicken,
Okay.
but at the
Whatever
same time,
product
I
you
do
do use.
understand if even then, if any product, it's like
I'm
there is
I'm just
suffering
saying your second
involved.
thought,
And I think I definitely
if you're going to
will
do it
be thinking
anyway, but
about
just
that.
think about it more, that does nothing for the victims.
Can I ask Billy, like, if your life was on the line and roles were sort of reversed, and someone said, "Hey, like, you know, I'm maybe going to do it, or I'll have second thoughts of it," about your life, your personal life, how would you feel about that? You know, because this is a really important topic. This is we're talking about someone's life here, someone's entire existence. Um, you know, you're going to be robbing them of that experience just by, you know, you won't even meet them. You won't even look in their eyes. You won't even tell them, this is why I'm doing this, you know? So I think it has more importance than just maybe.
Yeah, and that's your perspective. But honestly, I think people got to eat what they want to eat. And in the end, there isn't much we can do to
So, in the
change
time
that.
of slavery, you would have just been apathetic and continued to support slavery because it was convenient for you?
If I was white, no.
Okay.
I mean,
If
well,
you were
yeah,
the
if I was
unenslaved, if you were
white, but
not the
no.
enslaved individual and it was convenient for you and you could see the slavery, the exploitation is direct, would you then continue to support
Yes, but
slavery?
the thing is, we're not in those
I'm asking
times
you what you
anymore.
think you would want. What would you prefer that you do in that time if you were to be transported back in that time? Would you stand up for
I
the
think
enslaved?
liberty would be definitely yes.
Yeah. Definitely yes, you would have stood up for them?
Yep.
Okay. So you
But at the
agree
same
that
time, I don't really see
even though
like
it was convenient in that time, you still think that they should have stopped, right? They should have stopped enslaving others.
yes.
Why? Why should they have done
But at
that?
the same time,
What
back
about the
then,
ones that are
it was
but what about
considered
the ones that are using those
divine right.
products, right? Should they be allowed to have baby steps in continuing to exploit those enslaved humans? Or should they just stop?
They should stop. But at the same time, we're talking about veganism.
Yeah. So what is it?
Like
What's the morally
in
relevant difference
general, it's
between a
not
human
exactly
slave
popular.
and an animal slave that justifies the difference in treatment?
Sorry, my shit's bugging out. What did you say?
What is the morally relevant difference between enslaving humans and enslaving animals? What makes one wrong and the other okay?
I think it's mostly about like a human perspective.
So you're
'Cause
just
what we
saying it's
see
your
is right
bias.
to
It's nothing
them is
logical. It's
wrong.
just your bias.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you're
It's
literally
about
telling
the
me that you're
bias
racist,
of
you're speciesist, okay? It's similar to racism. Instead of saying you're not my same color of skin, you're saying you're not my species. So because you're a different species, I get to do what I want to you. I get to not care about what happens to you. Maybe I'll think about it, but my privilege allows me to use your body for my pleasure, and it's so convenient, I will continue to do so. That's the logic you're currently using. Don't you think that those that use that same logic
I
against
mean,
our own
honestly, I think there are
species,
more
don't you think,
humane ways we can go
don't
about
you,
getting
no,
those food
using
sources,
animals
but in
is
the end, I can't
always
change what it
enslavement.
is.
Using animals is always enslavement when it's for your benefit and not theirs. It's always enslavement. Do you feel comfortable demanding someone be enslaved for you?
I think that no, but the majority of
No, I
people,
don't care what the
yes.
majority of people do. I'm talking to you, Billy.
It's a society, but it's like it's a
Talking to
societal
you.
norm.
Why?
Like
So
there isn't
because
much we can
society it
do
had
talking
slavery,
about it.
you're just going to continue the humdrum. You're not going to change your habits, even though you have alternatives. You're no different than those that were not enslaved, Billy. If you think that those that were not enslaved, that were supporting human slavery, were wrong, you're wrong right now. If you thought they should have changed their habits when they could, you should be doing the same thing right now. Otherwise, it's all lip service. Right? I can hear that you do have the principles. Your actions are quite the opposite, though. You just need to align them. You're a good person. I can hear it. But you're allowing convenience to get in the way of your principles. Oppression will always benefit you. Oppressors only oppress because they get benefits. So of course, you using animals will always have benefits. But they don't want to be used, just like you wouldn't want to be used. That's all that matters.
I'm just trying to say, in the end, there isn't really much we can do because
Billy,
it's a
you can stop
societal
100 to
norm.
300 animals from being born into that system. That's huge.
And 300 about 400 in a billion.
So
that
you're going
really
to
doesn't
appeal.
make much
So you
of a
don't.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So you're going to
But you're
allow.
one person. You're one person. But listen, you're one person adding to all of the other people that have already made a decision to stand up against this injustice. It matters. Because you're not just one person. It's not just 300 or 400 animals. It's your 300 or 400 animals with mine, with the OPs, with the more numbers we can reach, the more we can continue to head towards eliminating this exploitation altogether, because the world has been changing for the last decade. There's been headline after headline after headline. We are heading in the direction where we will no longer exploit animals. We can get there quicker if we can convince people like you, because you do seem to care. Like, I agree with the host. You seem to be a good person, and it does kind of seem to bother you, but I don't think that I don't know if it's the fear that you're not going to like the changes, because that's what keeps a lot of people from going vegan, I believe, deep down inside, because they think about the diet part of it. And food is important to human beings. It goes beyond survival for us. And I think a lot of people are just terrified that they're not going to like what they eat anymore. You don't have to be terrified. None of us would still be vegan after years and years and years if it was an awful way to live.
Yeah.
None of us would put ourselves through that. So it's not just you and your 300 animals. You're joining a group of people, and it matters, and it does make a difference, Billy. It does.
Billy, can I ask one question too? Maybe I forgot to mention earlier, but like, you're obviously someone who's against like war and people suffering trauma through war, suffering things like PTSD, drug, alcohol addiction. If you could prevent someone from struggling with just by one little simple switch in your life, if you could prevent someone from suffering trauma or turning into a drug addict or into an alcoholic, would that be something worth considering to you?
It definitely would be.
Yeah.
But I guess for me, it's just about faith in the human race, and I don't have that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, but I don't know why, like, so you would rather just follow what the human race does than make your own like decisions based on your own
I'm just
morals?
curious, how does Billy?
I mean,
How do
I
you
can
think that we make
change,
any
but I just
change?
don't see
Billy,
how
how do we
like
make
that
any change in the
changes
world?
everything else.
How do we make any change? How have we made change on civil rights, on gay rights, on women's rights, workers' rights? How have we made change in anything?
Little by little.
One person at a time, changing their habits, starting to speak up.
Right. And I mean, just imagine what would have happened if people sat back and said, you know what? People are always going to be racist and homophobic and ageist and sexist. So I think I'm just going to be those things too, because, you know, that's just human nature and it's never going to change. And there's too many people that are doing it. So why should I change?
I'm not saying that I would necessarily follow that, but at the same time, I just don't see the appeal, and I do mean
It's not for you.
I do see what
It's
you
for your
mean by that
victims.
a little bit, by a little
It's not for
bit.
you. It's for your victims.
It's just I don't see how it's not
Put
like
yourself in the
that. I
victim's
don't
perspective.
believe that it will change,
Yeah.
but I
Billy,
just don't
I think we're going to
people
call
will
it here. You've been up
change
here so
how people
long.
think.
I think we're just going to call it there.
You don't have to change other people. You only have to change yourself. Stop getting caught up in what the rest of the planet is going to do or not do. This is about you and your ethics and morals and values.
Yeah.
And you change.
Imagine if everyone had that same mindset when it came to,
Right.
modern day slavery or whatever it was,
Right,
right?
right.
Like we would still be living in those times. Like
We would.
you have to
Nothing
set
would
the
have changed.
example, and
Yep.
lip service doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything
Literally. It
No.
literally does nothing. You're just flapping your gums.
Right.
Anyway, I do appreciate the conversation. It was cordial, but it did feel like it was starting to just go in
Yeah.
circles. I do find that about
Yeah.
after like 15 minutes, people start to talk themselves out of it. Like they start to be convinced, and then at 15 minutes, they start to be like, you know what? This is too much. I'm overwhelmed. I'm going to talk myself out of this.
Yeah.
So frustrating. Because he was right there. I feel
Well,
like he
we
was right
tried.
there.
We gave
And
it
then
the
just,
good old college try.
yeah, that's true. The good old college try. I hope, at minimum, if you're still in the chat, please go check out antianimaluse.org, or just go watchdominion.org, whichever. I don't know why my phone keeps erasing me, but go check out that. Go watch the 3-minute film. It says, see what I find. Go to my website, see what I find. Watch that 3-minute film, okay? And ask yourself, if it was puppies, would I feel as apathetic as I do for the other animals? Because, we already recognize that you won't eat a dog. And there's no morally relevant difference between dogs and other animals. So, and we're talking about you, not society. Stop relying on society to do the right thing. Society didn't do the right thing when it came to others' rights. People had to come together. The minority of people that knew this was wrong had to speak up and do something. Otherwise, nothing would change. You have to do something. If it's not you, then who? If not now, then when? Right? Famous MLK quote. All right.
Yeah, I wanted to tell him 30 million people went vegan this year.
Wow.
That's a huge amount of people.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'll have to look at it.
See, multiply that times 300.
Exactly.
30 million, yeah.
Our numbers come together.
This is what I was trying to tell. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, those 30 million are going to save multiple animals too.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Yep. We come together and our numbers increase for sure, but we got to talk to each other. Yep.
Right.
It's the only way we're going to make change.
Yep.
All right. I see
right.
9 has been waiting. I'm going to bring you up, but I'm also going to talk to my chat real quick. So just give me 1 second, 9. I just want to see what's been going on. I see there's some trolls in here. Loris Lori is in my YouTube chat. What's up? Ask him if not changing is making the world better. Oh, that's a good point. Is not changing making the world better? That would have been a good question. Humans born carnivorous, like lots of other carnivores. If I don't like people burning wood because I'm a tree lover, am I right and others are wrong? Yeah, the tree's not sentient. I'm just saying we shouldn't cause victims. That's all. And humans are not carnivorous. We're omnivorous. We're more like opportunistic scavengers. We can survive on a lot, but the science shows that we actually thrive when we use a lot more plants. So anyway, thank you guys for being patient. Also, TikTalk. Nice to see you're live again. Hey, Finnis. Yes, I was gone for like 2 weeks. I got sick on one of them, and the other one I just wanted a break. And I didn't intend on taking a 2-week break. That kind of sucked. But, life happens. Okay. I don't see any. The human race isn't going to change the way it thinks just because a few people, peop. So, I mean, again, how do you make any change in the world, right? How do we change anything on civil rights, in slavery, child rights, women's rights, LGBTQ plus rights, right? You know, trans rights, even. We're working on that one right now. For some reason, I don't know why we haven't understood the pattern, but anyway, we understand that we're all people, we're different, and the differences aren't the reason we should discriminate against each other. It's our similarities, our sentience. Anyway, 9. Thank you so much for your patience. Really appreciate it. Are you over 18? Hello? Oh no, I don't know if you're talking. We can't hear you. Nine? Maybe you've been there too long. I don't know. Hello? Well, darn, you've been waiting so long. I feel so terrible. If you re-request, I'll bring you back up. Oh, hey, Keith. I don't know why it puts all the vegans at the bottom, so I don't even see when you guys first request. I have to scroll down. Hey, Keith, good to see you.
Yep.
I'm doing all right. Actually, it's a pretty decent morning, and the sun is out. It's making me feel good too. It's not bad.
Oh, we don't have that north.
Well, that sucks. I'll try to break the clouds away and send some sun your way.
Please do.
All right, let's go ahead and bring up. I got Barefoot Farmer. Oh, and then Chicken Master. You will be an interesting conversation later if you're still there. Yeah. Hey, Barefoot Farmer, are you over 18?
Hey, I am. I'm 36.
Is there any way you can go somewhere quieter? It's very loud. I totally want to talk to you. I just it's kind of loud. Wait for them to come back.
Just turn off the music.
That's way better. Thank you. So you're over 18.
All right.
Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I manage 1,300 acres of wildlife conservation and farmland where we have an overpopulation problem with the deer with chronic wasting disease facing most of the deer with no natural predators out here. So part of my job is culling those deer for their own health and safety.
Do you think that if there was a way that we could help the deer and keep them out of our areas, but didn't have to take their life and it worked out for all of us and a benefit, do you think that we should do that option instead of pew-pewing them?
I'm in their area. They're not in human areas. I manage their area, and there's no natural predators because of surrounding areas.
Then why bother with their numbers? Why does that matter?
Because chronic wasting disease is what happens when you have an overpopulation because they're not naturally culled by predators. You want diseased deer population?
I just don't.
I think you need to do some research. I think you need to do some research on what I'm talking about before you make an uneducated decision
Why
or
don't you
opinion on it.
slow down, dude? Just slow down.
Because she's saying who cares
Slow
about
down.
the population of
Just slow down.
animals.
Yeah. So what Lori is saying, I don't know why I can't hear you, Lori, very well. But Lori is pointing out that often this imbalance is caused from animal agriculture. And what I was trying to point to is that if we actually have studies on this. If we stop farming animals, we greatly reduce our land use by 75%. And then all these wild animals will have access to wild lands that they can feed themselves on. And so you don't have to worry about pew-pewing or the wasting disease.
Yeah, I don't think you understand. Predators have very
Did you not hear
large
what I
living
just said?
spaces. So I listened to everything that you just said.
75% of ag land is like the North America and South America combined. We could rewild all that land, and at the same time, we can feed 10 billion humans. There's only 8 billion right now, 8.5 or something, and some of us are starving. We could feed everybody and still have land to rewild if we stopped using animals.
Like Barefoot, what animals do they unalive to protect cows, pigs, chickens, etc.?
Coyotes, wolves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So the animals that would be doing quote unquote your job, right?
Yes, that's correct. Coyotes
Right.
and
So,
bobcats in this area are completely wiped out by all the other people in the
Are you
area.
in advocacy of ending animal agriculture?
I don't have any opinion on animal agriculture. That's not in my business.
Well, we're asking you what your opinion is, and it should be in your business because of what we just said, right? If you
I'm in
had these
wildlife
natural
conservation.
predators being rebalanced into the ecosystem, because that's one of the core problems is, America and many other places are pushing these animals, both further away from, further out from the natural territories they had access to. So they're basically more confined and pushed back in a lot of situations. And then on top of that, we're taking a number of animals that were helping keep this relative balance, like whether it's cougars, bears, wolves, coyotes, etc. And we go, oh well, these animals unalive our cows, and that's lots of money for me, and I can't have that. So we're gonna go ahead and get people in helicopters or go out and hunt them or whatever the heck, just get rid of these animals that are harming my livestock. And then that's when you come into play and go, well, we created this massive problem, so now Barefoot has to come in and try to manage it or whatever. Oh, and he left.
I didn't even notice that he left. Well, that's sad. Yeah, I was like, what an interesting situation.
You're gonna get anywhere with.
Say it again, Lori. I'm sorry.
Just saying, I didn't think he would be getting anywhere because
No.
Well,
yeah, he probably doesn't want to listen.
Honestly,
to that,
I think
but,
that because
yeah.
we pointed out those facts, he probably felt like he has no leg to stand on because, oh yeah, my business is totally predicated on the fact that farmers are creating this mess and I need to clean it up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we destroyed the vast majority of the native lands and how these ecosystems operated in relative harmony and balance. And then we went, cool, we made this problem. Send out Barefoot
Yeah,
Hunter.
right? Exactly.
Rather than maybe we should fix the core problem. No.
Yeah. And that's what I was trying to ask him. If we could do it a better way, don't you think we should? And he's just going you can't. I want to keep doing the way I'm doing. It's like, we should be.
You should educate yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I should educate myself. Shouldn't we be trying to improve how we
He doesn't have it. Guys, you need to chill out. He doesn't have an opinion on animal agriculture,
Good
okay?
point.
Calm down, guys.
That's right. I forgot that animal agriculture has zero underpinning as to what's happening with his actions today. Right?
Oh my God. All right. Well, let's bring up Chicken Master. They were waiting pretty long. Hopefully it's a good conversation. Hey, Chicken Master. Are you over 18?
Me too.
Oh, damn. You're a child?
Oh my God.
Oh, I was really hoping that was going to be a good conversation. Oh, Keith, did he drop and I just kicked Keith? Oh, Keith, I'm so sorry. Oh, God. Oh, that's so funny. I didn't mean to do that to you, Keith.
Unbelievable.
I know, right? I had to kick you because of that guy. How dare you be there? Aw, somebody's got a squeaker.
Fushi's also upset.
Who what's their name?
Hello.
Fushi.
That's so cute. Hey, Dan, are you Dano?
Yeah, Dano, it's whatever.
Okay. So are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 18
Okay.
actually.
Why aren't you vegan yet?
Why should I, to be honest?
For the animals. The animals are sentient. They feel pain. They don't want to be used.
Right, so for moral reasons, is that correct?
Yeah, for ethical reasons.
Okay, what makes you think it's morally wrong to kill animals?
Because they're sentient and they care about what happens to themselves, just like you. Would you say that it would be wrong if someone enslaved you for their own benefit?
Well, for me, it would be wrong, obviously, but
why?
If it was necessary for them, then
What
I
if it's
think
not
in
necessary?
their eyes, I would argue that it is
No, I'm
for
asking you.
health
In this
reasons
scenario,
that you...
they want to use you, but it's not necessary. Do you find that moral?
In this scenario, yes, but in our scenario,
No, you didn't.
how
You
we
didn't
use
answer me.
animals,
You
I
didn't.
think
You
it's...
just said yes, and
I said
it's
yes.
moral
I
for
said
them to
yes.
use you.
Well, no, if they don't need me, then no.
Okay, it's
No.
not moral. I agree. They should, if they can avoid demanding your exploitation, they should, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
What makes you different from the other animals?
Well, should I talk from my perspective?
Yes, always
or...
yours. Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. So, as you can see, maybe from the name, I am a Catholic, and the church believes that humans have a completely different soul than animals.
Okay, but that
We
doesn't
humans
justify
have
it. Like,
it,
regardless of having souls, we know that animals feel that they're sentient and that they look forward to that next experience, that next positive experience. So if you don't need to, like we talked about, what justifies doing it anyway?
because it's not morally wrong.
But why is it not morally wrong?
So I'm assuming that you're atheist, right?
Yes.
Okay, so atheists have a subjective moral
Mhm.
view, which means their morality comes from their human minds.
Okay.
My morality is objective and comes from God, and I believe that morality is objective. There's
So
just
let's say I
one
think
good
that morality is
circle of
objective
morality.
and I have a book with my own God, right? My God says I'm allowed to enslave non-vegans. Are you going to respect my religion in that aspect if I want to enslave you?
Well, if I would probably go and study your religion from the theological perspective, just as
So we find
just as
out
much as
that
I
my
study
religion
Christianity
is
or
just as
Islam.
legitimate as Christians. They found some old scroll that had some old lingo on it that lots of people back in the desert days were following. We find out it's really old and the text is just as reliable as the Christian Bible, right? Are you going to then respect my religion and be my slave? Or is that still
I'm not
immoral
gonna
because you have your own
respect
purpose?
from obviously from my perspective. I'm not gonna respect it, but I
Exactly.
would understand why from your perspective you would respect it just
Okay,
as
so what I'm
much as
saying
I
is,
respect meat
even though
eaters.
it's my religion, you are your own person, right? You care what's going to happen to you. And regardless of what my old book says, you care about yourself and you care about what's going to happen to you and have inherent rights to your own life. I don't have rights over your body, right? Just because my book says so doesn't mean I have the rights over you. Does that make sense?
Well, the book doesn't really say that you should have a right to
Look,
own
I know you think your
anybody.
religion is the one religion. There are hundreds of religions, though. Hundreds.
That's a
So
bad
you're saying that
argument.
everyone
Bad
has to
argument.
follow your religion. You know, people have different principles.
They in a perfect world, yes, they should.
Okay, but they're not, right? That doesn't make them, they
Wait,
don't need
Yeah,
to
because this
follow
is
your
not a perfect
religion.
world.
wait, Daniel, can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
And if in your religion can you be vegan? Or are you
Yeah,
condemned to
sure,
hell?
of course.
You can.
You can be vegan, obviously,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And may I ask which religion?
Well, Christianity or Catholicism,
Christianity.
if I have to.
So what happened to the Garden of Eden?
Garden of Eden,
Yeah.
Eve ate the apple of truth and disobeyed God, disobeyed his command,
Yeah.
and they were punished for it. Basically, she then told Adam.
Yes. So why wouldn't we be moving more towards a Garden of Eden?
Why should we? I mean, what's your
boy, that's
Your God said
okay.
so.
No,
Your
what's
God
explain yourself? Hold on.
said that was perfection.
Yeah. And then someone ate an apple.
Wait, hold on. This interests me. So you wait.
So okay, so all right, so you're saying that moving towards like a utopia, like a Garden of Eden, isn't what God would want or strive for?
Okay, I have to say that's a very good argument. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
You kind of caught
Also,
me off guard here, but
can I throw you off guard as well on something else?
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
Yeah. So, who works in slaughterhouses?
People.
Yeah.
I don't understand the question.
Have you ever taken a life yourself?
A human life? No.
An animal life?
Once, yeah. A rabbit.
Yeah. A rabbit? Can you
Yeah.
explain? Can you explain it to us without using too many graphic words because we're on TikTok? But please explain how you felt in the moment and what inspired you to do it. How old you were?
I mean, I was much younger. I think I was about 8 years old, and I wasn't. My dad was helping me. Obviously, he was kind of teaching me.
Yeah. How did it feel in that moment?
Well, at first I was kind of sad, but you may call me like immoral if I have to say this, but I didn't care that much about the rabbit's life. That
Well,
was my
you were
perspective.
8, right? You were 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, would you agree that people who work in these places where they take the lives of animals are under stress, under pressure?
Some could be, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't deny it.
Are you aware that PTSD, drug, alcoholism, increased violent crime rates happen and occur around these places?
I mean, there could be some PTSD, yes, but
Not
or
could. There
depression.
is. There is.
You could
It's
have
not
PTSD
could,
from
right?
school, basically.
Are you? Wait a second. Whoa.
You could. Yeah, you could.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you couldn't, but are you equating that right now?
School would
Are you
give you
just trying to
PTSD.
like? Yeah.
I'm just saying there are a lot of places you can get
What is
PTSD or
PTSD?
depression. I don't know the
Post-traumatic
exact
stress
term.
syndrome.
Post-traumatic, something, you know.
Stress syndrome. Yes. So it's where someone is having this flashback to some trauma. It's not about where they were. It's about the trauma. They were traumatized.
Right. Someone could have a trauma because of a bad teacher. That
Is this a
doesn't
good
mean
thing though? Is trauma a good thing?
Not necessarily.
Right.
No. Sorry. Bad
Okay,
language.
let's forget about the trauma part. What about creating more drug addicts and alcoholics? Is that would Jesus or God say
That's a sin? No, it's a sin.
It's a sin, right? So there's those 2 points. What about sexual assault? What about increases of that? Would you say that's wrong?
Assault? Could you please explain it to me? I'm not really from an
where a
English-speaking
person
country.
violates somebody else.
So
in a
rape or
let's say that.
Obviously not.
Yeah.
It's also
So it's been studied, right? It's been looked at. I can send you the documents that these things occur as a result of people pew-pewing other animals. And so if you're like for God or for Jesus or whatever, what kind of God or Jesus would prefer that humans be put into this situation to suffer PTSD? I know you don't think it's a big deal, but it really is. Drug, alcohol addiction, increased violent crime rates. I didn't include workplace injuries. I didn't include contracting pathogens. I didn't include the risk of pandemics. But I'm more for the animals on this side because I don't think they should have to go through that. But your argument is God is benevolent. We care about our brothers and sisters, especially Christianity. Our brothers and sisters we care for, like we should treat them with respect and kindness and such. So why would you want to put somebody in that position if your God says to be kind to others?
The people are putting themselves in the position just as much as a soldier thinks it's his moral obligation to go and fight for his country, even though he could get PTSD. You're condemning me, but I'm not part of the issue. I don't want to.
Have you heard of the concept of supply and demand?
Yeah, obviously I have. So that means.
So how aren't you like responsible in any way, shape, or form here?
I'm responsible for them killing the animals. Obviously, I'm not responsible for. I'm just in general responsible for killing of the animals, but I'm not responsible for those troubled individuals that go.
Do you think
they have a weak.
Do you think there would be more, the same, or less of these instances of PTSD and trauma, etc., happening to humans needlessly if more people chose to stop consuming animal products when they don't need to be doing it?
I think there would be a little to no change because I'm pretty sure that slaughterhouses are not.
If say 70% of the world went vegan, you're saying that this would have zero impact as to how many
Not
animals
zero,
are being...
nearly. Wait, what's
Wait,
it? What was
you
the
think you would say that if 70% of the world went like plant-based and or vegan, you think that we would still unalive 93 billion land animals and 1 to 3 trillion marine animals every single year?
We would unalive about 70% less, but we would
Right.
kill
So
them.
that would mean that there would be less people working in slaughterhouses, causing less
Yeah,
of these instances of trauma.
sure. Yeah, I know.
Right. So that would be like a good
Or
thing
hold
from
on,
like a human
or
perspective.
they would still work there, but in general, they would just kill less animals.
Perhaps, but usually if you have that much of like a downturn in the supply chain, you're also going to see a downturn in number of employees because there's not much reason to employ, say thousands of employees in like a giant warehouse if the
Yeah.
demand has reduced by 70%. It would just be like completely inefficient and a complete waste of
Mhm.
money. So,
The
Sure,
yeah.
workforce would
I'm
be
aware of
dropped
that,
by
but
probably the equivalent percentage, right? 75%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
near that. It usually follows along. At best, it would like at worst, it would maybe like reduce the workforce by like 50%. Like if you have
Yeah.
a product drop by 70%, you're probably going to see a workforce drop of like at minimum 50%.
Yeah,
So
and who
you're
would work these jobs, right, Keith? Because it's immigrants, refugees, marginalized communities, right? Children and migrants are often trafficked to work in these jobs.
Yep.
sure. Anyways, can I ask you something? So, a lot of teens are troubled because of school. They have mental issues because of school. So, with your logic, we should drop these kids
Wait. I
out
don't
of
know
the
what you
school.
mean.
Yes,
No, I don't know what you mean. They have mental issues because they're in school. What does that mean?
well, they're under stress because of exams, because of the school
That's not
system.
bad.
The
That's
teacher,
okay. You can be under stress to do a test.
well, it's not just a test. It's basically just studying for the
So you
test.
think that we
They're
shouldn't
stressful that they're
educate?
gonna fail. Again, please. I didn't hear.
I just want to be clear, though. Someone learning is not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
And I would argue that it's not bad to kill them, but I mean, we're in a debate, and
Wait,
you
did you just say
showed
it's
me
okay to
Hold
kill
on,
a
Dan.
human?
scenario. Animals. I thought we were
Oh,
talking
you were
about
talking, though,
animals.
about school. You're saying
Yeah,
school.
but I was talking
No,
about how
I
you
want a
were talking
clarification.
that it's
How
bad
is
to
it
kill
bad
animals.
mentally for
You're
children to be
twisting my
in?
words.
You said there are kids in school, and because they're in
I
school, they're having
can
mental
I
issues.
interject? I think I know what he's trying to. I think I know the point he's trying to make. And I think what you have to understand, Dan, is that there's a difference between stress and post-traumatic stress. Post-traumatic stress is not just stress. That's a psychological condition that is caused by a traumatic event that is completely different from a human being stressed out because they're in school or their job is stressful. It's completely different.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
Right,
I think
but there are
that's where
still a
you were
lot of
going with that. We're not just talking about these workers in these slaughterhouses being stressed. We're talking about them suffering from a mental illness that the job actually caused, a really serious mental illness that not only causes substance abuse, it causes nightmares. They can't function. It's an official mental illness that requires therapy and sometimes medication. It's not just because they're stressed, quote unquote. There's a big difference.
Yeah, I was forced to leave the workforce because of it. I mean, I
Yeah.
continuously suffer flashbacks, night terrors, all the things, because of what I witnessed in these places.
Yep. Yeah. And a lot of the workers do. I mean, I remember when I was going to do a blog, one of the things I wanted to do was to speak to a former, somebody who had worked in animal agriculture at a factory farm. And when I Googled former factory farm workers, there was a bazillion articles on post-traumatic stress and how these people they all suffer from it. And they suffer from it because what they're doing is not natural. I mean, most people, regardless of what they say, understand these animals are sentient. Nobody knows that better than the people that are working in these places. And so it's going against their nature to do what they're doing in these places. And it does bother them. I mean, some people don't have a choice. It's the only job they can get. But it's not without consequences. And it doesn't mean you're not affected by having to unalive these animals every day or the other things that they see happening.
Yeah. And back to Dano's point, the whole religious aspect. I feel like if you're going to be talking about religion or anything like that and spiritual stuff, and you care about your communities, why would you want to put people into that environment? And also, too, like there are quotes to talk about where God says to treat animals with respect and kindness. And why wouldn't you do that? Because you have an actual opportunity not to use animals in that light.
Well, first of all, if you don't eat any basically animal products, there are a lot of vitamins that you're missing. I think
Like
it's
What am I
vitamin
missing? What am I missing?
B12. B12.
Am I? How am I missing B12? My blood work for B12 came back fine.
Really?
Yeah. I've been
Are you
vegan
taking
for 12
supplements
years.
by any chance?
I take a supplement, yeah, a multivitamin.
Right. So if you don't take any
What's
supplements, you can't have a reliable diet on
You're
just
taking
a
supplements
animal
too,
like this.
Dano.
do you know where most
I'm
of the supplements go?
I'm not taking any supplements, just to be clear here.
No, you're taking them through the animal though, right?
But yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm talking
because
about supplements in like pills
supplements,
and
most supplements go to animal agriculture. Most drugs go to animal agriculture. Most antibiotics go to animal agriculture. So instead of like feeding that system, taking a life needlessly, why don't you take a multivitamin? And I think most people would probably be good with taking a multivitamin, wouldn't they?
yeah, that's
Well, and let's clear something up for a second. There's nothing wrong with taking supplements at all. Especially
yeah, I
when you
agree.
consider that veganism is not a diet. Vegans aren't vegans because of the food. Vegans are
Yeah,
vegans
let's go
because
back.
they,
Let's
let
go back
me
to
let me
the
just finish.
morality. Okay,
Let me finish.
I understand your point. Please, let's go back.
No,
Okay,
I would like to finish my thought, please.
sure, go ahead.
Veganism isn't about a diet. So if we have to take a supplement, and a lot of us don't, by the way, but if we do, and that allows us to not contribute to the injustice, then so be it. Plenty of people take supplements when they're deficient in something. There's nothing wrong with supplements.
Okay. Can I speak now?
Yes, thank you for letting me
Okay.
finish.
No problem at all. Okay, so I would like to point out, or just ask. I think it was Keith who was talking about the slaughterhouse workers having PTSD. Was it Keith?
It was both David and Keith, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what percentage of slaughterhouse workers have PTSD? What do you think?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so Dana, there's been no long-scale, like long-term studies on PTSD in slaughterhouse workers because you can't get cooperation from these industries.
Yeah, but there was a study.
They don't want to cooperate on a long-term study, right? So like there's no like irreparable data on this like across the board, but like for example, like they've done small scale studies of like slaughterhouse workers in like South Africa
Yeah, they did.
and a few other places, and they found that each and every single one of those workers had recurring nightmares related to their work.
Well, I would argue that.
Every last person in the study had recurring nightmares because of what they were doing.
Could you tell me what study was it?
The name of the study?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's called Slaughtering for a Living, a hermeneutic phenomenological perspective on the well-being of slaughterhouse employees.
That's the name of it. That's pretty long, don't you think?
Yeah, many studies are very long in their title.
Right.
Studies aren't like, the effects of apples. Like they usually have a longer title.
Yeah, sure, but there was maybe some company who did this study. Could you tell me the name of the company? Maybe it's gonna be quicker.
Not a company. It's like there's a couple of authors of the study.
Yeah, but they don't have a group. It's just this long name of the study.
Dano, what are you trying to get at? Are you trying to say that because
I'm
only a
trying
few
to
workers have
I'm trying to
PTSD
Google
that
it.
it's okay to pay people to work 4 to
No,
6 days a
okay.
week, 8 hours a day, slicing
Sure,
the throats of
sure.
other animals? Is that what you're trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is they did a study on 137 beef packing workers and measured serious psychological distress and found that 4.4% have it.
Packing
care.
workers are different than people that worked on the unaliving floor.
I mean, what really matters
Yeah.
is what the animals are going through. We're just trying to make a point for you that humans are affected by this as well, and there are studies that show that the PTSD, the abuse of alcohol and drugs, and domestic violence go up when a slaughterhouse is installed. That happens. Yes, right. But it doesn't matter.
There's no
It doesn't matter,
definitive
Dano. Let's say,
consequence
I'm going to mute you.
percentage.
Let's say that there is no PTSD, there is no domestic violence, there is none of this. Humans are fine working in the slaughterhouse. They're not. But let's just pretend that they are. Do you think it's fair to animals to remove their life or to exploit them when we don't have to? Do you think that's fair for them? Yeah, the mute button's in the middle.
Right, sorry. Yeah, for them, no. For us,
Don't you
yes.
think that if you were them, you would want your oppressor to stop using you?
Obviously.
Okay, you're the oppressor right now. Why are you still oppressing?
Because it's not morally wrong.
You just said that it's not
I mean,
fair for
that's
them. What makes it morally
Sure,
right?
buddy. You mentioned, Dano, earlier that this is a debate. This isn't a debate. This is a discussion.
Wait, did I say? Oh yeah, I might have said that. Maybe I don't know. Sure, but I mean, I'm not. I didn't come here to win or to lose. I just came here to talk. Because I don't talk to many vegans, especially in real life, because I've probably never seen one, seen an actual
Do you know what
one.
veganism means? Did we not go over that maybe?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so you know that it's an ethical stance against the exploitation of other beings,
Yep.
right?
I understand that completely.
Do you agree with that?
With being vegan,
With that principle that I just said of not demanding someone be exploited for you when you can avoid doing that.
I think that letting animals
You're not answering my question.
quote unquote exploited.
Do you agree with that principle?
Sure, I agree
Okay.
with that.
So then what in your mind is different between humans and animals that justifies the difference in treatment?
It's all.
Okay. So if you don't think animals have a soul, we do know they're sentient. That means if they don't have a soul, they don't go to heaven, right? Okay.
No.
So then they only have the here and now. Whereas you get two existences. You get the here and now and the after. So why does that, because they don't get the second life, why does that justify you shortening the only life that they get?
I mean, basically, it's as if you were arguing against trees being cut
Trees
down.
are
I know
not
they're not
sentient,
sentient.
Dano. How dare
I know
you
they're not
compare them to
sentient.
them? They don't have a brain. They don't have a central nervous
You-
system. And if you care about plants, you would still go vegan because we feed most of these plants to the animals that you use. So your plant
Yeah, I know,
sentience
I've seen that
argument is
study,
still a
yeah.
vegan argument.
What I'm trying to say, it's not morally wrong.
It's morally wrong
At least
because
not.
somebody is you're
Dano,
victimizing someone.
can I ask a quick
Yeah,
question?
sure, ask.
How many slaughterhouses are replacing the Garden of Eden in heaven?
Probably a lot. I mean, there were no slaughterhouses
Yeah.
even.
Where does it
Then-
say in the Bible that there's slaughterhouses in heaven?
I mean, you get meat in heaven. Probably it's something
Oh, yeah?
like generated meat.
Are
or
you going to
something
be the
like that.
one taking their lives, like the rabbit?
Probably not.
Why
I've never
not?
been there. To be fair,
Why not? Are you going to use proxies like you do right now to do it for you?
Why
I
would
mean,
you,
if
why
it's
would you
necessary,
assume-
then sure, I'll go kill those
why would you
rabbits to
assume
feed
there
me.
would be like meat in heaven?
It says so in the Bible. I don't assume.
Oh, where does it say in the Bible there's meat in
Oh,
heaven?
come on, man. I don't want to search it up.
From
I'm
my
sorry, I don't have the
understanding,
entire
in fact,
Bible.
what you should do is check out Vegan Heretic. He's here on TikTok. He might be still in the chat, but also on YouTube. And he actually breaks down the Bible really clearly about how it relates to veganism. There's also a documentary called Christspiracy that looks at how Jesus lived his life here on earth, and that he actually was more in line with animal rights than like you are right now, like the overturning of the tables. The den of thieves was actually the den of violent ones, that he was actually freeing those animals. He's like the original, if you believe in Jesus, he's the original Animal Liberation Front because he's freeing the animals right there.
But he eats meat.
No.
From what I remember too, like this was many years ago, something like the wolf's lying with the lamb or something, and the ox.
Oh, the lion will eat straw
Like,
with the ox.
Yeah, it's
like
Isaiah,
that's
Isaiah 11.
there
Like,
you
that's,
go.
that's the
Yeah,
whole
we're like
point, is,
sandwiched
the
with
fact that
veganism. It's like perfect
like,
world
well,
veganism, end of the times veganism, heaven is vegan. There's no death.
yeah, the point, like, why, for example, like the Seventh Day Adventists, many of them push towards like either plant forward or completely plant-based diets because of the Bible. Like they interpret it as, hey, so in the beginning we had things like the Garden of Eden, right, where there was
Yeah,
no
but
animal
I'm
product consumption.
Catholic. Yeah,
Cool. I'm just explaining to you how
I
they would
understand.
interpret. Yeah, so like they would follow that. They would also look at like the actions of like Jesus's disciples and Jesus's actions himself. Like Jesus himself never really takes the life of an animal. He like multiplies already dead fish, and things like this, and like his other followers, like John the Baptist and his brother James, also pushed for like avoiding of exploitation of animals within their diets. And then, we get Isaiah 11:6, which is again pointing to like, the wolf will live with the lamb and the leopard will lie down with the goat and
Right.
the lion will stop like attacking the calf or whatever. And a child will lead them. So like the point is like when Jesus returns, violence ends. So it's like, hey, okay, non-violence at the beginning, non-violence at the end, and the people that surround push for mercy over sacrifice, which is literally Jesus's most famous quote of "I desire mercy, not sacrifice." And it's somehow people take all these interpretations and read them into, let's mass slaughter 93 billion land animals and 1 to 3 trillion marine animals every single year when we don't have to.
So I like to say a few things. First of all, your interpretation of the Bible, as an individual, doesn't matter because I
That's
think
not my
that
interpretation. That's the Seventh Day Adventist interpretation.
no.
I'm gonna give you one more
But you
minute. You've been
believe
up
in
here way
their
too long.
interpretation.
So anybody want to say their last words to him before we kick him?
Well, I'm wondering, like,
Oh, go ahead.
is it okay to kick dogs for fun? Like, are we?
That's
What about?
that's intentional harming of animals without eating them. No, so it's not. It's a
No,
sin.
but what
and
if
it's
I
bad.
get like, what if I'm able to use a dog, punch them all the time, right? And I get exercise and I save money.
It's a sin, regardless.
Why is it a sin? I'm gaining
It's
from
just
it.
harming animals without eating them is a sin in the Bible.
Wait, but you understand how the animals are unalived, right?
Yeah.
Putting
pretty
gas
much painlessly.
chambers, captive bolt gun, electrocution,
They
and then
don't feel pain.
after
They don't
being
feel
immobilized. Dano, are you listening? Are you listening?
I'm listening. I'm just telling you they
No,
don't feel
but you're
pain.
cutting
I
me
don't
off.
have
Are you
that much
listening?
time.
Dano.
I don't have that much time, okay?
Dano, just
She's
listen.
gonna
listen.
kick me in 1 minute.
Dano,
Okay.
just listen.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Go.
So me punching a dog maybe once in a while, I'm still not taking their life,
It's a
right?
sin.
I'm
It's
gonna
a
get
sin.
exercise from it, and I'm
Then
gonna feel stronger. I'm gonna feel mighty, right? But you putting a pig into a gas chamber where they burn from the gas, their mucous membrane burns. It's carbonic acid. They're gonna scream for their lives, and then they're gonna have their neck jabbed at. I mean, what's worse? Right? You're still doing it for pleasure. I'm just doing it for a different sense, a sense of health, the sense of feeling good, strong. What's the difference?
how much time do I have? Can I respond to that,
Yeah.
or will you kick me?
You can finish your thought. Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I don't know how you think animals are killed, but usually, if they're not killed in the halal way, they don't feel any pain.
I'm an ex-agriculture inspector, buddy. I've witnessed it all. And if you're going to claim that you're going to move from Christianity to halal, like that's a bit
I'm just saying,
a leap there.
the only way they feel pain is in the halal
Oh, so they
way.
don't feel pain. So being shot in the face, that doesn't hurt.
They basically get something like anesthesia.
But me punching
No,
a
they do
dog,
not get anesthesia.
they'll feel pain, right?
Something
They
like anesthesia. I
absolutely
don't know
do
how
not.
it's.
You can't sell the meat if you give them anesthesia.
Oh
I
my
don't know how
Dano,
it's called.
Dano.
Danny, again, remember that you're the person you're talking to at the bottom of the panel is an ex-slaughterhouse like inspector and worker. Like He knows this stuff. Okay.
Okay.
So you're saying you don't know how the
So
animals are used and unalived, and you just got it from David. David just told
you
you how it
don't even know.
happens.
And I was trying to explain it to you, and
Maybe you're right.
you're claiming it's bad or it has to be done in a certain way. Well, how's this way, Dano? What's this way?
I
This
agree
magical way?
that cramping animals into one big space is evil, and you're basically torturing them for their
Why? Why
entire
does that
lives.
matter? They're just animals. They don't have a soul or whatever.
Just because they don't have a soul doesn't mean we shouldn't treat them right.
But wouldn't be them treating them right? Wouldn't that be moving away from exploiting them?
Well, from their perspective, yes, it would.
No, you just said it. It wouldn't be right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be right to torture them
Why does it matter to you?
because it's a sin. That's
How's it a
one of the-
sin? Why is it a sin?
Because it says so in the Bible. I don't know how to.
Can I
explain to
ask
you
something,
more.
Dano? If someone kicks
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
kicks the cows, the pigs, and the sheep before they take their life, is it still moral in the
That's
Christian
still-
Bible?
No, that's still harming the animals
But I'm
without
using
the
them
intention of.
for their skin for my clothing, and I'm
Yeah,
using
but
their
you're gonna
body.
kill them later
Okay,
on.
so wouldn't you say
You're
though
kicking
that
them.
cutting them with a sharp object is unnecessary harm when you can get everything you need from other sources?
Cutting them. What do you mean cutting
That's
them?
how
Like
halal
just for fun
and kosher
or?
go. They don't do a stun beforehand. They literally turn them
Yeah,
upside down
exactly.
and slit their throat. They feel
Exactly.
it. They
That's
suffer longer.
That's what I'm
They
condemning.
suffer longer.
So, but so Dano, do you think being electrocuted is better?
Obviously, it is better.
How is it bad?
No.
Have you ever shocked yourself?
No. I mean, yes. Yes.
Have you ever
I
burned
did.
yourself? Let me ask, have you ever burned yourself?
Yes. I even have a scar, I think.
Yeah,
on my-
so did that feel good?
Not necessarily. No.
So if
I'm not a
the animal
masochist.
if an animal is burned, if I went to light an animal on fire, do you think that would hurt them?
Obviously.
Well, that's what happens in gas chambers, my guy. To stun them.
Yep.
Not to take their life, to stun them.
Yeah,
and,
they
and
stun
some of
them
these methods
because-
aren't even like. Do you know, like for example, like the stun gun, right? A bolt gun where
Yeah.
like a half-inch to inch long or inch wide rod jams out of a pew pew at a very accelerated rate and knocks them in their skull. Do you know what the efficacy rate of that is?
No idea.
It's close to like 60%. So basically, like there's a near like half and half chance that when they use that, it's going to fail on the first go. So they're not even incapacitated. All they're going to experience now is what you would like. Imagine if someone just took like a giant rod of steel and smacked you over the face with that, right? And
That
you
would
didn't go
probably hurt.
unconscious. You would definitely feel that, right? So like that's
Yeah,
that's
that
like
would-
a
that would
half and
suck.
half coin toss that they use to slaughter most cows.
Yep.
Right. I agree that certain things should change, but killing the animals in general is not morally wrong.
Says
Well,
you.
Yeah, like we haven't really established why it would be
As
right.
God.
Like
Well,
all-
and let's
all-
not
no,
forget
so
that
all
way
the
before
Bible-
these animals are unalived, they are torture. There are things done to them as part of legal standard practice that are done to them without pain medication. Their horns are ground down or burnt, their tails are cut, they're castrated. I could go on and on and on, and that is torture, right? And I just
Yeah.
want to get back to the Bible thing. Dano, why are you using the Bible to justify doing something wrong? Why don't you use the Bible to
Why is
justify
it
doing
wrong?
something good?
I'm also
Well, you just
doing
said the
that.
Bible says torture is wrong, and I just told you these animals are tortured.
But obviously, I don't agree with it. I said that certain things need to change.
Well, how do you change all the animals that are genetically engineered to grow as fast as possible? Every single animal, every single one of them that you eat, that everyone else consumes, is genetically engineered to grow as fast as possible. Do you know
Right,
what
but
that
that's
does
not
to their body?
torturing them. No idea.
Sorry, what? That's not torturing them?
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily. How so? Do you think weighing 250 pounds, equivalent to a 250-pound human being at the age of 6 weeks, where you can't even hold your own body weight, you don't think that's torture?
They give them hormones, is that correct?
They genetically breed them, right? They genetically engineer them to grow as fast as possible.
Maybe in
Or
those
produce as much as
facilities.
possible.
But
These
when you
aren't
have
these aren't your
local,
so-called God's creations, I guess you could say. They're
yeah,
nothing
it
like
sucks
the animals
how they
that.
treat them. I said that I don't support these slaughterhouses. What I do support is farms raising healthy animals, and in the end, killing them is not morally wrong.
No, but these aren't God's creations. These aren't at all what God put on the earth, right? People have
Yeah,
taken them
if
and made them Frankenstein animals that you are eating.
so they did to nature. They built cities. Nobody's condemning that.
What?
Yeah, you know how nature is being
Oh
destroyed, right?
boy. Anyways, I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That person was up here for 40 minutes. 40 minutes.
Too long.
Yeah, it was long. The thing is, I left him, like I was going to call it at 30. That's what that time point was. It was 30 minutes.
That's probably my
No,
bad.
it's fine. I actually genuinely felt like there was good. It felt like he might be listening to you. That's why I was like, oh, I'm not going to rip him down because we're actually getting somewhere now. It's like almost like that threat made him lock in a little bit. But I don't know. The whole religion excuse bothers me because it's like you don't even know your own religion. He knows that you're not supposed to torture animals, but he doesn't understand that it's like, aren't you torturing them when you don't need to use them? Like, isn't that then against what you just said? As you were
Well,
pointing
the
out.
other problem with that is they act like God is speaking to them in the Bible. God is not speaking to you in 2026. God was speaking to those people in those times when people had to do what they had to do to survive. If God if the Bible were to be written today, I don't think God or Jesus would approve of what we're doing to their animals. I'm sorry. I don't believe that.
with you.
And if you do, then you need to seriously read the Bible.
I mean,
again.
Jesus is supposed to be
think about what your religion stands for.
Yeah, and Jesus is supposed to be this king of peace and compassion and mercy.
Exactly.
And it's like, how do you do that when you don't? How are you a merciful person when you're taking life of someone who doesn't need to have their life taken, who wants to live?
Well, and I think God and Jesus would expect you to be a good person and a better human being, right? Not use the Bible to justify being a shitty human being.
Yeah.
You know, we do not have to exploit these animals for anything anymore. So if we don't have to do it, God would not want us to continue to do it.
Exactly. Are you guys okay if I bring up another guest? I'm going to do it. Regardless of what you want.
Go.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
Awesome. Let me make sure also I have my other windows. I would still want to be able to peek in on my chats. I hid my YouTube chat, guys. How are you guys doing over here? There are some big chats. Wow. What if your health was suffering because of being vegan? Would you still continue to be vegan to protect animals? Isn't your health more important in that case? Just a quick question. I do want, if you're like in a life-threatening situation, you got to take care of yourself. That's one thing, right? But most people, we don't need to use animals for anything. So that's the point. You don't need to use animals. My health, honestly, if my health started to suffer, I would go find a dietitian and ask them to help me figure out what I've done that's not working and try to make it work before I even consider even touching another animal product. I personally have no interest in returning to being a non-vegan because I see them as sentient beings, and I know if I was them, I wouldn't want my oppressor to use me. So how could I go back and do that to them? Anyway. And then let's see over here on the TikTalk. How you guys doing? Yeah, I personally got lost on a weird tangent of the Bible, but the whole point is, which David was really keen to jump on, you don't need to use animals to be Christian. You can be vegan and Christian. So it's not that your God's requiring you to do it. You're just saying, this person said I can. But then it comes to, just because you can do something, does that mean you should when there's a victim? right? I can punch non-vegans, right? I've evolved to have a hand that can make a fist. Am I now morally allowed to go punch people in the face because I have this ability? I can do it. I have someone that tells me I should. Anyway. Oh,
Yeah, they're a lot of the Christians on these conversations very much confuse. It is the case, or rather, like, there's permissibility for a case, and they confuse that with, oh, we ought to do XYZ action because of this permissibility.
Exactly.
It's like, just, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't get it.
from what I understand, it's not that God approved of human slavery, but he gave rules around it, right? So he normalized it. That doesn't mean that we should have human slavery now, right? The context of that book is important. I've learned from other people like Vegan Heretic. Looks like Vegan Tattoo Artist isn't here, or it's not working. But that actually, exactly as Stasia was saying, that the Bible wasn't written for people right now in 2026. It was for, I forgot who it was, Moses, that was talking to the slaves and like telling the story of the beginning of time and God, and trying to have these slaves move from their I forgot which gods they believed in to the Christian God. So it's not directly pointed at you. It's to a people in a time that didn't have access to things like we do now. And as Stasia said, if it was written today, I guarantee Jesus wouldn't walk into a slaughterhouse and say, yes, this is what I want. I want to have a blood tunnel.
This place is perfect.
Exactly.
I still want to know if he exists. I want proof.
Yeah. That too. I personally need that proof. But even, I'm not here to debunk people's religions. I just don't like it when they use it as an excuse.
Yes, my children, you took my words of I desire mercy, not sacrificed, and used it to slaughter 93 billion land animals and 1 to 3 trillion marine animals every single year needlessly. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
Precisely.
You got it exactly right. I'm so proud of you all.
Now go say 5 Hail Marys and 5 Our
Right.
Fathers.
And go stand in the blood tunnel while you do so. I actually watched a video recently, and I'll bring up the next guest here in a second. But I watched a video on it's a Foster Farms what's the word I'm looking for? Investigation. And there's this tunnel that workers stand in because they got to make sure that the birds were decapitated. So where they stand, the blades are spinning, and it just spits blood on them. And this whole everything is got red blood splashing all over the place on their outfits, everything. And it's just like they have these conveyor belts, where the chickens are hung by the shackles. So the ceiling conveyor belts where these birds are hanging, just bodies passing by them, splattering blood on them. That is not a scene from the Bible. That is not something that God would be like, this is of me. That's something from hell.
I have to say that's literally some of the things I saw.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
I can't believe, even though I've seen some of the stuff like in Dominion, I'm learning new things that are in these slaughterhouses because they keep them so well hidden. And it's pretty gross.
Yeah.
It's disturbing. And obviously they know it's disturbing.
That's disgusting. Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get up the next guest. Let's see if there's anyone brave to talk to us now. Paul. Oh, life. It says that we're friends.
Yo, what's up? How we doing?
Paul, are you over 18?
Yeah, mate, I'm 18.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I love meat, man. It's just so delicious. I can't lie.
Okay. Do you know what veganism is?
Yeah, I know what veganism is.
Reflect to me what you think it means or what your understanding is.
It's basically you don't like meat, so you want to protest against it, or you just don't want to eat meat at all.
That's not it, actually. In fact, I loved meat when I consumed it. Veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of other sentient beings. So I don't want to demand someone be enslaved and lose everything for me when I can get what I need from something else. Does that align with your own principles?
I mean, yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. Okay, so then in your mind, what is it that separates human animals and other animals that justifies us farming other animals but not humans? What justifies that?
Well, I mean, it'd be a bit weird if humans ate other humans. You know what I mean?
I mean,
So
there are cultures that
think
did that. Why don't we do that now?
because it's like weird and not moral, bro. Like
I mean,
what?
you keep
That's just
saying it's
mental.
weird, but
I don't
that's
know.
kind of begging the question. I'm asking you why. What makes it weird or immoral?
Because it's like, why would you want to eat another
I need
human
my
if there's like a
protein.
fresh
Human
chicken?
flesh has the perfect ratio of everything I need. It's got everything a growing human body needs.
I get that, but there's other animals that can
Exactly. I
give you
can
that
eat
proteins.
something else, right? I don't
Yeah,
need to eat
you
humans.
can. That's how you.
But
Yeah,
what
so
if
you could
I
eat a
want to? What if I
chicken.
really want to? Does that matter?
Then yeah, it does, because then you want to go to jail.
That's
So
not, I don't want to go to jail. I just
pretty.
want to eat humans. Is that wrong?
Yeah, it's
But
very wrong, man.
why?
Because that's a human.
You're
That's a
begging the
human's life.
question. Why is it wrong to eat a human? Is it because that
Well, I
human
mean,
cares about what happens to themselves just like you?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. They have their own purpose, right? They want to do things and they want to experience that next positive experience, right? Just like you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
No.
the thing is, what we've learned as a species, other animals are much the same. They're sentient too. They care about what's going to happen to themselves. So if we know we don't need to use them anymore, we can get everything we need from other sources, right? You just said, I don't need to eat humans. I can eat something else. Same thing for the other animals. You
Yeah.
don't need to eat them. You can eat something else. And they care about what's going to happen to them.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I mean, we are superior to animals, so
That doesn't matter.
that's like
That doesn't matter. A parent is superior.
we're the
A parent is superior to a
okay.
child, right? That doesn't mean they have rights to exploit the child. It just means they're in a place of power and they have responsibility. Don't you think that a
Okay,
moral
but like,
agent, someone who understands there's consequences to their actions, should be responsible for their actions?
I mean, I've got nothing to lose. I mean, I don't believe in anything, bro.
So
So,
you don't even
I
believe in
mean,
human rights? You think that humans should be enslaved?
oh no, okay, I believe in, I believe
Okay,
in that,
why?
bro. Like,
Why do you
what?
believe it?
That's
Why do
meant.
you believe in human rights?
Well, I think it's equal. Like, I think equality is good because, like, if we have equality, that means we can have growth and development as like a community of human
But we don't need
civilization.
all
And
humans to do that. We can just eliminate humans that are defective, right? And just keep the average or smarter humans. So why don't we do that? Just eat the dumb ones or the ones that are shaped differently. Why don't we do that? We could still have a functioning, thriving society.
I don't think eating humans is necessary at all when we've
Exactly.
got other
It's not
animals. Like,
necessary. We don't need to take
yeah,
someone's life.
exactly.
Animals are much the same.
Yeah,
We are animals.
yeah, but animals aren't us, man. I mean,
I'm sorry?
okay, yeah, we're animals, but like other animals eat other animals.
Yes, other animals also grape each other. They do infanticide.
Oh,
Are we gonna? So
okay,
you're
that's
cherry
not.
picking their habits and saying because they eat flesh, I want to do that. But everything else that they do, you deem immoral. If they eat their baby or abandon their baby or they unalive another lion or another of their species out of competition, right? We wouldn't say that's okay to do in human society just because other animals do it in nature.
There's a reason to why humans don't do it. It's because of the chance of imprisonment or getting executed.
Do you
It's
think
because of the
that
law
legality really
enforcement.
equals morality? Law is always moral?
It really does. Or
You,
else humans would be killing each other in the street.
bro,
I'm telling.
Uh-oh.
What? It's the truth, bro.
bro.
Paul,
I'm telling you.
do you remember what was happening in like the 1600s, 1700s,
Exactly.
1800s?
I wasn't around then, so no.
Okay, did you take a history lesson?
No, mate, I don't do history.
Okay, so you realize that slavery was a completely legal practice. Does that
Oh
mean
yeah,
that
I know that.
slavery
I
was
know
a
that
good
part.
thing?
Yeah, my country kind of made it up, so I'm aware of that, but I'm not happy
Well,
with it.
no, Paul, it's just a very simple question. Like if a country comes in and makes an action legal, is that what makes it now good? So like slavery was good?
Well, I never said it's good. It's just
Well,
like law enforcement,
moral,
man.
that's the question she asked you a moment ago. She asked you, does something being legal mean that it's moral? Does legality equal morality was her very question, and morality would imply good versus bad. You know, it is good to be moral. Moral equals good, effectively. So, like, again, are you saying that slavery was a good thing because it was legal?
No, I never said that. I said that like in a government vote and all that stuff. I mean, to be fair,
Yeah,
I'm new to this.
via
I'm
a
new to this
government
stuff.
vote. Via a government vote,
Yeah,
you had
I'm not
slavery
saying
and,
it's.
and
I'm
still
not
to this
saying
day.
slavery is good. I mean, it's pretty bad,
Well,
but
that's
I'm just
yeah,
saying.
that's what we're trying to point out here is something being legal doesn't make it somehow moral.
But
Like
what does slavery
the
have to do with animals?
the point is to try to show you a very simple premise. Does legality follow morality, or does morality follow legality? Like, did we start thinking with our brains and then created laws, or did we just magically have like a set of laws created before we started using our brains?
Well, no, as humans, we just gained neurodevelopment and stuff like that, and then we
Right.
just made up
We
laws to
developed
protect
thought.
countries.
We developed abstract thought and then logical thought and all these other things. And then that led us to like creating laws to try to be more civilized and cause less harm and be more equitable and charitable and caring and etc. And many of these laws were problematic and done incorrectly and caused all kinds of problems throughout history, such as slavery. It was completely legal, but at no point does that mean it was moral or justified or good. Right?
But what does slavery, like, genuine question, what does slavery have to do with eating
I'm
animals? Because
because
what I don't,
I'm
what I don't
Paul.
understand.
Paul, it has nothing to do with that innately. I'm trying to show you that your argument that, oh, because this is legal, that's the thought process. Your thought process right now is saying it's legal or illegal to do XYZ action because we were talking about eating humans and you said the reason it's wrong basically to eat a human is because you might get caught and go to jail or get executed or something like this because of the law,
Yeah, and
right?
it's also a moral thought. I mean, like, there's no point eating another
Yeah,
human when you
yeah,
eat a
we
chicken, bro.
need
I'm just
we need
saying.
to have a moral discussion, not a legality discussion. Does that make
All right, we
sense?
can talk. We can talk morally then.
There we go.
Okay. All right.
So then, morally
All right.
speaking, what is wrong with human slavery? Why is it immoral to enslave a human?
Well, it's just like the lack of empathy to those people, I guess. But I
Because
mean,
they have their
at the end of the day,
purpose, right? And to
yeah, I
force
get.
your purpose
Yes,
onto
it's
them is
their
immoral,
own thoughts.
right?
I believe that anyone with any race, any gender, all that stuff should have a
Okay,
right.
so
Okay,
why
I
is it
get that.
different for
It's
species?
well, it's because in my eyes, it's because they don't understand like humans understand.
Not all
I mean, a
humans
dog
understand.
and a cat.
We have humans that are
What do you
purely
mean, not
just
all
sentient.
humans?
Exactly, but we still respect them, right? Even if they don't have that understanding. It doesn't matter if they have an understanding to the average human, right? What matters in these humans that are not up to par with the rest of us, what matters is that there's someone in there experiencing life. They want to avoid harm and have the next best experience that they can. That's why we shouldn't violate vulnerable humans, right?
I mean, I'm just gonna put this into
Can you
this way,
answer me?
right?
Can
So
you say if
imagine.
that, do you agree with that?
I mean, some part, yeah, I
What
do,
part do
but
you not
I can
agree
still
with?
have
What part
opinions.
do you not agree with?
I mean, their life is different to what we
Why do
experience
you
as moral
respect
humans.
them?
I mean, I don't really
Why do
respect them.
you
I have
not
NPD,
use
bro.
them or exploit them?
Who said I doesn't, bro?
So why don't we open up a brothel and put humans that are really low, like they're just as intelligent as a cow or a pig? Why don't we do that?
Well, because it's just a human
But they're
life,
the
bro. I
same
mean, at the end of the
cognition as a
day, they're
cow
still
or a
human.
pig, Paul. Who cares?
Not
I'm
necessarily.
telling you that they are, Paul. They are. They are. So why don't we open a brothel with them as the one that you get to boink?
Because, bro, they're not meat. They're just regular humans.
Why
I
do
mean, they're
you
just,
respect them,
I don't know.
Paul?
I don't, bro. I have narcissistic personality disorder,
Paul,
bro.
I
I
think
don't
you're a
have
very
empathy for them.
disingenuous piece of crap, and I'm going to drop you. I think that you're a liar, and I think that you know that you're wrong, that you should live vegan, and I'm done arguing with you. You're wasting my time. Really. What the fuck? Up here for so goddamn long, too. Like, sorry, guys. It frustrates me when people waste my time because I know there are people who are reasonable, who do understand that animals feel. Oh, he also cried about the bullying. Okay, well,
I mean,
it's okay.
The problem when people are like, oh, I have like, MPD or some condition that makes it difficult for me to um emotively empathize, that has nothing to do with cognitive empathy. He understands and knows how to use cognitive empathy. Like anyone who can like do basic addition can understand cognitive empathy. So you can have cognitive empathy to like recognize that something is right or wrong, or that you wouldn't want this action performed on you in a very simple sense. So putting it on someone else unjustifiably would be problematic. Even if like you, when that happens, doesn't cause you to like, start crying or sobbing or feel emotive. Like I don't know, I'm just really tired of people that use that excuse. Like I know of many people who are vegan that have those kinds of disorders, and that's because they can still cognitively add things up together. Like these things are based on like basic logic and principles of like, you yourself not wanting harm done to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like just as much as you wouldn't want yourself to, be, pew-pewed in the head or whatever, you can recognize that others would not want that to happen to them
Precisely.
either. Like it's not hard.
That's 100% what it is. It's so frustrating that what happens is I feel like they do recognize that, but then what they have to do to make themselves feel better again is demean the experiences of their victims. They have to say, oh, they don't feel as much. They don't care as much. It doesn't matter. I care about my pleasure more than they care about their life, which is ridiculous. But that's the punch that they drink and remind themselves that, I'm doing what's best for this animal, and I don't need to care about who I affect. Anyway, we're at noon for me, so I'm gonna have to share the room. But I really do appreciate all my vegans up here. Life, you didn't even get a chance to talk. Welcome up.
I just popped in at the
That's
wrong
okay.
time.
I'm really sorry I didn't give you the opportunity. I should have maybe let you had a chance with that last guy, but he just felt like he was kind of kept putting his head in the sand.
Well, he was, and the argument was just going nowhere with him. And then you had the other person that was like going, oh, you need B12. Do you know where B12 comes from there? Oh, God. Or protein or any of the arguments. It's like,
It's fine if they're like a genuine misunderstanding, but it's interesting to me that people hear the answers and then they don't even acknowledge that they were wrong. They just put out the next excuse,
I just saw a video about, how some cultures take the lobster and put it into the boiling water and say they don't feel pain. So then I saw one person saying the argument about, they don't feel pain really and blah, blah. And the other person was like, it's against the law because you can see the twitch, you can see the pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is so
they
true.
do have they do have receptors that they avoid that. They do change their behaviors when they experience pain. And I believe it was the New York Declaration of Consciousness that included, or was it I don't remember which one it was, the Cambridge or the New York one, but one of them had updated to include Was it Cambridge? Okay, so they had updated to include, I forgot what the group is called that they're in, cephalopods, is that correct?
They added cephalopods and they added lobsters and crabs are in a different group.
Oh, okay. Cephalopods are more like octopus, right? Got it. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know all my animals. You don't need to know all the animals to be vegan. It's just like you say, it's just recognizing that that's an injustice. Whether or not you really care about that individual, you can recognize injustice for anybody that's sentient.
And the other thing is if you listen to a lot of foodies that like are not vegan or whatever, but they're like, yes, you should definitely eat a lot of vegetables, more vegetables and all this stuff. It's like, it's knowledge already out there.
I mean, I grew up with that. My parents always said, eat your veggies to be strong. That's what my parents, I heard other parents say it. I learned that in school, eat your greens to be big and strong.
Eat your carrots so you can see in the dark.
All of those things.
Have you ever seen that one meme where it's like, it's like 4 panels, and it's like a kid and their parents be like, "Eat your vegetables," and they're like 3 years old, and they're like, "I don't want to," and then
The kid to the parents.
and then well, no, yeah, no, the kid's like saying, no, sorry, the parents are telling the kid,
Oh,
"Eat your
got it. Okay.
vegetables," and the kid is like, "No, I don't want to," and then it like pans forward to time when they're like, I don't know, they're like in their 20s or something, and they're like, "Hey, I went vegan," and the parents are like, "No, not like that."
Okay, so it did go the direction I was thinking. It just wasn't initially what I thought. That's hilarious, though. Yeah, I actually have thought about that many times. I haven't seen that meme. I need to go find that. That's pretty good. I do feel the same. Like when I see all these adults crying about not being able to use animal products, I'm like, you are your inner child right now, for sure. Like you're reacting as a child would when you're being told to eat your veggies. Like, I don't want to. Exactly.
Well, the lot, I think it's like almost the end of May. There's the vegan street day here in my area, and we have about 30 some odd stands, food stands, and it's all vegan.
Wow,
so
that's awesome. Oh, damn, 30?
I'll have to take some
Fine.
pictures.
You should.
Huh?
Where's that going to be, like? Where's that going to be?
Stuttgart, Germany.
That makes sense.
Oh,
That
Germany.
totally makes
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Germany is starting to really blossom as a vegan hub. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
hearing more and more updates about vegan options there. And there's obviously a thriving vegan community that's standing up for the animals there too. So that's awesome.
Quite a
That's
bit,
awesome. Well,
quite a
yeah, I
bit.
do want to see pictures of that for sure. We have a vegan fest or veg fest. It's a veg fest, not a vegan fest. But I'll try to take pictures. We also have a vegan night market, usually during the summer. I don't know if they do year round. I think it's just the summer. And oh god, I can't remember what it's called. Oh, damn. I feel really bad because I want to announce it to anybody that's listening. Anybody in the Portland area know what the vegan night market is called? If not, just look up vegan.
I found literally vegannightmarket.org, which is for
Portland. Maybe that's it. I thought they had it. I thought it was like Thrive Market. No, that's a website. I can't remember what they called it.
Yeah, Thrive is a website.
They had a name for the vegan market, but maybe they just changed it to vegan market. Anyway, go check it out. Vegan market if you're in the Portland area or in Germany. Okay, go check out the vegan festival. But
Yeah, right in Stuttgart here.
yeah, in Stuttgart.
Wish
We
we had
have-
more in California.
Is it Veggies Do It Better?
No, that's that is another group over here though, but that's not the one. I forgot what it's called. No, it's not the night market. It's the there's another one. It doesn't matter. Ian's trying to help me too. I'll figure it out and I'll announce it next time. I'm sure that there's some. Oh, flip
And I'll try
side.
to pop in
Thank
earlier.
you, genderless enigma came through. Flip side. Okay, I'm sorry guys. That was gonna bother me all day. Dubs in the chat for genderless enigma.
You would have
on
remembered
YouTube.
the minute you got off.
What'd you say, Lori?
Yeah. I said you would have remembered the minute
Oh,
you
I
got
totally
off.
would have. But it'd been like flip side. It was freaking flip side. Anyway, yeah, we have actually a couple of vegan markets in. So we got the vegan night market, and then we've got the flip side. We're very spoiled over here, so we need to have a vegan camp out over here.
You guys are.
That's what I'm thinking.
We need to have more
Yeah,
in California.
Makes no sense that nowhere between California, Oregon, Washington, there's like a good amount of vegans there, and there's
no camp out.
No camp out.
Yeah,
Makes no
it doesn't
sense.
make sense.
So a vegan camp out in the
Yeah.
U.S. a few places, and a vegan camp out in the Black Forest in Germany.
Oh, that would
That
be
would be
awesome. I love that for
That'd
that's
be cool.
It's like
We need
beautiful.
to start something. There's not enough people here in California that I know that are vegan.
That's our goal then.
I'm sure there's a lot of
We sh-
vegans, but I just
That's
don't
our
know.
goal. We're gonna try to plan some vegan camp out. I think that's our duty as
Yeah.
people who live over here. We should do that. We've got all the way up to
Yeah.
Canada with David here too. He's a little more
do
east,
that
but
here.
let's
Let's
go.
go. I'm down.
Awesome.
I'll make sure I can try to make it over at least to Canada. USA, Trump is so lovely.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
That's another story
I
in
know.
itself.
It really makes me sad the state of everything because it sounds like people that are over, like people that like to travel here are scared to come here, and absolutely understandably, I wouldn't want to be mixed up in the
And I've been told by
booths.
people that live in the U.S., don't come here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
same here.
genuinely
We
concerned for
can
people.
we can have the camp out, and then we can start forming Cascadia.
There we go.
And,
Here we go. We're gonna start
We'll
building.
set up the first. Hey, you know what we could do to save on trouble is have a virtual camp out.
That's a good idea too. That
That would be
reduces
fun,
garbage.
You know what I mean? Start that way with a
Yeah,
virtual
that would work.
Good idea.
camp out, because then you don't have the cost of travel
Yeah.
and everything else.
Yeah, all the environmental
Start
garbage that
there.
kind of comes along with having a festival, we could cut that out completely. And then
Yeah, you can have that at some
yeah,
point
yeah.
in the
And
future.
maybe in the
but-
future it'll be easier to manage that stuff. But I do like the idea of a virtual first. That's a good idea.
So think about
Absolutely.
it on your next live.
Hell yes. Let's do it, guys. That's our goal. We're going to try to focus on doing a virtual vegan camp out. All right. Well, with that,
So
I'm going to go ahead and end the TikTok live. And,
When are you gonna be back
Uh,
again? Friday?
I might be back Friday because I think that I have to check. My group and I are still voting on what day we're going to do outreach, but I think it's going to be a Saturday. I haven't checked it yet. So if we do outreach on Saturday, which you should definitely come check us out. Let me pull it up actually. Boop. Thank you. Yes. And also, please follow all the vegans on this panel. This is a fire panel. Please go follow them. You've got the 40-year-old vegan goes live in front of slaughterhouses, does outreach. He even just talks to the chat, so you can even ask your questions directly to him. Please go check out his channel on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Go follow him. Great activist. And then next we got Lori, Two Spirit Veg. Please follow her. She goes on so many other panels, plethora of information. She has a very interesting background, just like David too. You guys have the most interesting backgrounds of vegans. Some of the vegans. There's other vegans that have extreme backgrounds too, but you guys, your backgrounds are just, people need to ask you questions because you know a lot and you've experienced a lot. So please go follow Two Spirit Veg. Go follow the 40-year-old vegan. Next, we have Stasia, who is an amazing activist. She also joins on other panels. She's very outspoken, very knowledgeable. Please go follow her. She puts out a lot of good content, too. She's a great activist, so please go follow I call you Stasia. Tomato. Absolutely. Thank you for being up here, too. It's always a pleasure to have you up here. Yeah. So I love it. Hell yes. And then next we have Keith, who also has another account, Tofu Whisperer, which goes live. I think you go live on Keith as well, though, right? I haven't seen it. Okay. I'll try to be there. I want to be more active in watching other vegans' lives on TikTok. I took a break for a little while because I was trying to focus on building up anti-animal use, which you can see I'm trying to show here. We'll be live on Saturday, which I put that on there. I guess maybe we will be live on Saturday. But please go check us out there. But go follow Keith. He goes live on TikTok, and go follow his Tofu Whisperer account because that one definitely he goes live on. But he at least goes on other panels.
Main thing is people just go to my link tree in my bio for a whole bunch of resources. Like if you're like trying to figure out like veganism or like get information, studies, documentaries, side information, how to plan like meals, like the whole 9 yards. Like I have tried to build like a very comprehensive link tree there with almost everything.
That's good for vegans to know too. Like if you need resources on something, go check out Keith's page, his link tree. Maybe he's got some resources you can use. And then last but not least, Life. Oh, you're the opposite, right? It's the opposite. My list is flipped. Go follow Life, another great activist out of Germany. Just go follow them. Life, do you go on other panels? I don't know if I've actually seen you on other panels.
It's hard right now with time zones and everything. And the planning this vegan street day thing takes a bit of my time.
Oh, you're planning it?
Well, I'm part of the organization group.
I didn't know that. That's even cooler. Wow. Hell yeah, that makes sense that it would take up your time. But that still makes I don't know. I think that still puts you in a really good position to answer questions because then people are like, how do you have a festival? Or how do you do that without using animals. That's, those are things that people don't really know
But
about. So
but that's why I think like a kind of a virtual vegan fest would be
that
so
would be
cool
cool.
to
Have
kind
different
of try to figure out.
stages and, you can like hop around between them. You don't have to like physically run
Mhm.
between stages.
So you can't really do that off of TikTok.
Yeah.
You would have to use a different app
Yes.
service because TikTok loves to screen stuff and crash and not enough.
That's true.
Yeah.
I would probably do it through some other means. I don't know if I would use TikTok specifically, but I would advertise
No.
on TikTok.
Oh God! Oh
Yeah,
God! Yeah.
yeah.
But I think it'd be awesome
I mean, we could start
to
it this
have a bit
way.
of.
Like you're pointing out, we could have like a vegan camp out as the title, and then just vegans pile in, and we all just, talk about veganism, or we have someone out on a stage, person hosting,
Yeah.
I guess.
Let's do some thinking about it and
Hell
chat
yes, I
next
think
time.
that's a great idea. That's a great idea. All right. Well, with that,
So,
make sure you've got a screenshot. You can grab all these vegans' names, and make sure you can also get my website, antianimaluse.org. It's got also a nice plethora of resources. But I bet Keith actually has a larger array of stuff. So if you really do need resources and you're not vegan, go check out Keith's stuff. My stuff is a little more simple, just for non-vegans, like the documentaries and nutritionfacts.org stuff. So, anybody want to throw any last things out there?
No.
All right. Thank you guys.
You're a legend, Anna.
You guys are
You're a
legends.
Hopefully you'll be back.
Oh yeah, I will
Will you
try
on-
to be back on
if you come
Friday. I will
Friday-
try, but for sure Monday. And
Will you be on like morning or afternoon?
for Friday it'll
if you
be
do a Friday?
probably 4:22ish.
Okay. That's
Awesome.
cool. I'll check.
Awesome. Yes. And yeah, 4:22ish is on Friday. PTST. PTS. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
I know because you're in California. But and then Monday I'll be here back at 9 a.m. And then on Saturday, like I said, anti-animal use. Come check us out on Saturday on YouTube. And we'll be interviewing people face to face. We'll be putting a microphone in their face and being like, tell me about your morals and are you actually living in alignment with them?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
That's what you gotta do,
That's exactly what we got to do.
Right, see you guys later.
All right. Oh, and Ozzy, I see all the roses. I wanted to thank everyone. Vegan Chris, Keith. Oh my God. Yasmin. And of course, Lori. Thank you guys so much for the donations. I really do. Oh, and Frisia. Thank you. Oh my God, Frisia. It's so exciting to see you in here. Thank you guys. I really do appreciate that. And thank you to on my YouTube for Salad Faux Girl and Johnny Vegan Seed and Spooky. Oh my God. All you guys buying memberships and buying memberships for others. Thank you so much for that. That's very sweet of you. Thank you so much. I'm going to make sure that we get fun stuff to you so that, you're not just giving me money. I want you to have something in return for that. Anyway.
Yeah, she's finishing Ozzy.
Yeah. Are you finished? I am finishing Ozzy, unfortunately, but I'm sure that Universe will be live soon. And if not him, I'm sure somebody else will be live soon. So definitely go follow another vegan and go watch him, start to tackle other non-vegans. Yeah, absolutely. You guys have a great day and stay vegan.
Yeah. Have a great day, everybody.
Go vegan if you're not.
Bye.
All right.
Have your tofu.
Have your tofu. See you guys. All right, YouTube. I appreciate y'all being here too. Thank you again for Spooky and Salad Faux Girl and Johnny Vegan Seed and everyone that got a membership. Thank you guys for being here and thank you for all of that. Thank you. This is such a beautiful community. You guys are amazing. I love seeing you in other chats. I love that we have a community online. It really is the world, and we need more community for everybody because that's really what keeps everyone vegan. So thank you all. And with that, I'm going to, I can't move this. Okay, so you can kind of see me. Teeny tiny. But with that, you guys have a great vegan day too. Please go follow another vegan. Woo, David's there. Hey, David. Awesome. Thank you guys for all being here. Oh, Lambretta, did I say hello to you? U-Tops, what's up? Taiwan Animal Protection. Oh, hello. Thank you for being here. All right, I'm going to end it here, guys. Thank you all. And I'll see you on Saturday, maybe Friday, but I'll see you for sure on Saturday on anti-animal use. I'll see y'all later.